to mention it at any level. So
Even if that's what you do to me, that's not.
We're not going to talk about it online.
I'm not going to talk about it online.
You should talk about it, though. The cameras are going and you're talking about it, so you should, yeah. Just saying.
I never get tired of that. Hey, everybody. I'm Evil, and welcome to the Wednesday Club. I'm your host, Taliesin Jaffe. With me, as always, is Amy Dallen and Matt Key. But for today's very, very special episode, we are finally joined by the internet's B-Day Walters and the real world's well-known Tess Fowler.
Welcome to the Wednesday Club! Hi, guys. How's it going?
It's good. Welcome to the other side of the chat room.
Yeah,
well,
right?
How's it feel?
Weird.
I can
Lot
put
of
the
light.
chat in front of you if you'd like. That way you can follow it like you would.
Hi, chat.
It is like a bizarre Jumanji where you've been extracted and
I know.
dropped into the game.
I don't know what to do. My people aren't here.
Well, I don't know if it makes you feel any better, but I don't know what to do with such a comfy couch.
I know. I was about to say, we can tell that it's good when they give us the comfy couches. They're like, that means that they want to impress, and that always makes me excited.
So congrats. They will obviously want to impress you, too.
It's true. It was like lead bleachers last time I was here. It's like,
Really?
It was like character building season.
It's actually a really good way to put it. It does build character.
Makes you sit up straight.
It's how I remain firm in the fundament is because of that.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! That was an amazing turn of phrase.
Thank you so much.
It's true.
Please sell a line of exercise videos.
Firming the
Yes!
Firming fundamentals. Yeah. Oh.
I think we both know they'd sell.
Yeah, it really would.
We have a lot of cool, exciting stuff to talk about tonight.
We
So
have
much.
so much to talk about.
Welcome to the Wednesday Club.
We're going to be talking about the origins of the greatest love story on Earth, and by that I mean the love story between comic books and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and how it started, and sort of the origins of that. A lot of origins I didn't know, and I've just delved into, and now I'm very excited. Yes. We also have to mention that we did just get back from New York Comic Con.
Yay! Kermit Flail.
Which will be a thing we're going to cover. But and we also, and this is really exciting, we're sponsored today.
This entire episode is sponsored.
And that is very exciting for us because that means that we can slowly do more crazy and wonderful things. And today we are sponsored. Wow, this is why I should do it at the top of the show.
Take two.
By Dungeon Fog.
This is live.
It's live.
There's no tape.
Creating custom RPG maps has never been easier. Dungeon Fog lets you focus on your story while creating marvelous maps for your adventure. Check it out for free at dungeonfog.com/the-wednesday-club. Or use the promo, and we have a promo club.
We have a promo code.
What do you get for the promo code?
You get Wednesday Club. You say Wednesday Club, just one word, Wednesday Club, to get a 10% discount on your first annual premium subscription. Check it out. They are being wonderful enough to let us play around today. And
Thank you so much for your support, Dungeon Fog. We will talk to you a little bit more about that later on in the show. But
I looked it up, and it looked. I've never DM'd, so I don't know, but it looks cool.
I've looked it up before. I didn't know that they were doing this with us today. But I'm like, oh yeah, they're a lot of fun. I do some home stuff.
Oh, cool.
But
well,
it
there you go.
kind of worked out for perfect timing that they should sponsor this episode because there's something that everybody here has in common, and I think it's that we're like pretty fond of D&D.
Comic. Oh,
Little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, right. Dungeons and Dragons.
Little
yeah.
bit.
Little bit.
Yeah, un poquito. Yeah.
But yeah, before we delve, we should do a little bit of New York Comic Con.
Yes.
Have you ever done New York Comic Con?
Last year.
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
Wow, what a
Right?
Artist Alley is amazing.
Oh my God, Artist Alley was like, I love you, San Diego, but oh my God,
Was
the
this
New
your
York.
first year?
Do I?
Yeah, this was my first year.
Oh my god.
I don't know how I feel about Artist Alley San Diego anymore. I'm feeling.
Oh, I wasn't
full.
saying I love you, Artist Alley San Diego. I was saying I love you, San Diego, just in general Comic Con.
Yeah.
But Artist Alley New York wins.
Wow.
I saw a tiny piece of it last year, and at that time I was blown away by the Artist Alley, but everyone was saying that like last year it was really tough because they were in like an unusual space and there was like an air conditioning issue.
Everybody,
Yeah.
you went over there. Everybody was sweaty. Everybody was melting.
So this year it was
Yeah.
basically amazing. There was an entire hall for it. I kept forgetting how to get there, but once you got there, it was good. And other than truly monumental bathroom lines, it was a perfect place.
The bathroom lines were I mean, stunningly. That was the one.
Yeah.
Like to the point where people,
We're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that story.
I feel like you only get 2 we're not going to talk about it per show, though. So you've now exhausted your mulligans.
Yes.
That is fine because the person that this would involve might embarrass that person.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dave, have you ever been to New York Comic Con?
No, I was this close to making it this year, and I have not been. I hope to go next year, though. Yeah.
We will.
I think we'll both be there.
I think we might both be there next
we
year.
might.
We will party hard in the city.
You said that on the internet. Now you have to.
Yep. Rules. We
True.
did, but it was great. And at some point, we'll be going deeper into some of the stuff. I got some art from Babs Tar.
Oh man.
And I got some Sailor Moon
Does
stickers.
Babs Tar watch our show?
I think. She's too cool to watch.
I mean, who doesn't watch the
Well, but if
Wednesday
she was
Club?
watching our show, I would need to flip her off right now because that became our game.
You're
I mean,
on.
do it, because we'll snip it. You can snip it. You have a wizard named Devin that will make it happen.
I am the Wizard Devon
We did also.
of Devonshire.
We did meet some critters, and we got sent some wonderful comic books that I'm supposed to share with you. So
Oh, how cool!
we're going to be going through some of that. And
Thank you so much to
Thank you so
everybody
much.
who came to the Wednesday Club panel. It was very early on Thursday, but you all were the best audience, and it was really sweet. And next time we'll have full-strength Wednesday Club panel.
Yeah, next year we'll all be there.
More binding promises from
Yep.
the internet.
And I got and my segue into the D&D thing is I got to do a very.
Uh-huh.
I've been waiting for this.
You
Oh my
did at
god.
Comic-Con, Tao.
I figure, and like I will admit I didn't check that I could talk about this, although it has now been written about on the internet, so I feel like I can say something about it. I'm going to be very gentle. There's a D&D comic book. It's not even a D&D comic book. It is
RPG inspired.
It's an RPG inspired comic book.
Yes.
Because we are rediscovering our love of RPGs and comics. Coming out at some point, which is called Die.
Yeah, Wednesday Club got real targeted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that this was going to exist, but like, thank you to every person who has tweeted at all 3 of us being like, "Did you explode?" Because yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
But Kieran Gillen ran. He's been developing a game to go along with his comic book that he's running, and it's a role playing game that is. I mean, it's not D&D. It is its very own unique thing. It is so much fun. It is dark and weird, and I'm really digging it. And I got to play it with a bunch of wonderful people, including Jody. I should say everybody. Stephanie Hans, who's the artist on the book, who's fabulous and wonderful, and was
Just an amazing painter.
Yeah.
Just Google Stephanie Hans.
yeah.
Die.
Incredible.
Jody Hauser, also an amazing painter, although very rarely gets hired for it. Weird.
Jody paints with words.
Just paints with words. And then Tia, whose name I always am messing up. Oh God.
Tia Career?
Yeah.
Baldwin Blitz? Was that the campaign? Camera 2?
Tia
Camera 1?
from Comixology, who is our wonderful host, and we had a great time and played a game, and it was. I can't wait for you guys to see more about it. But I had a lot of fun. I'm going to be definitely playing it again.
And Matt, if you're not signed
my
up to Kieran Gillen's newsletter,
I am so
Oh, man,
proud
I
of you
still
for
need to
not
do that.
completely geeking out right now.
I was
talking
too. Well, I'm
about-
like, and I was too tired to be like, oh my God, it's you. I was just so exhausted from only. I don't think I got more than 3 or 4 hours sleep a night, and like,
Yeah.
like
Same.
I didn't sleep.
Well, speaking of being emotionally and mentally exhausted, I got to visit the Marvel offices on Monday.
unbelievable! I was on a plane. I missed both of these things. It's fine. It's fine. I had an amazing weekend. I have nothing to be upset about. Please talk about Marvel.
Well, I don't know how much I should or can say or whatever, but like.
Just make a series of expressive faces.
True, yeah.
I got to so in the editorial offices they have they have the comics that are coming out in like 3 or 4 months, 5 months time already sort of starting to be laid out and stuff, like in various degrees of completion.
I'm gonna need you to blink some spoilers in Morse code. Go. Oh no!
Black
really?
Panther does that? What?
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Now everyone just thinks
Oh
this
my
video is freezing.
Sure. No,
Sorry, I was still talking.
I want you to know there's a not insignificant portion of the internet that is going to frame by frame that stuff and be like,
What, was he saying something? I was just saying an SOS, get me off this couch.
drink your Ovaltine.
I just have one question. Do the Marvel offices still possess all of their Doctor Strange paraphernalia? Is it still there?
Oh boy.
Or did you is it now in your
Do they have at least as much as
Don't
they did on
confess.
Monday?
Don't confess, Nancy.
Stop
Anyone
confessing
could have
crimes on the
taken
internet.
stop
what I
confessing the
thought.
crimes
Boy,
on
if
the
I've
internet.
learned one
Avian,
thing.
I know you're watching.
I will say that they had entire uncut sheets of like the trading cards, like just like framed and hanging on their walls, and I was just like, oh. like I need for myself. It was amazing, and like I got to meet Nick Lowe, one of the main editors over there. He's the editor behind the Doctor Strange book, and he gave me some free from some Doctor Strange swag.
Nice.
So everyone tweet at Nick Lowe that he's a great guy. So
Awesome.
saith Matt Key. Maybe he'll come on our show.
Oh, if you guys had a show together, it'd be low key.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa.
That was amazing.
Wow, that was
Please be
that was
cops.
fast.
That
was
happened.
fast.
That happened
Yeah.
so hard.
That was
wow.
None of us are on right now. Only
that was fast. Yeah, I'm a little hesitant to say anything more. Just like, you know, it was a very special visit. Like, you know, but I don't want to get anyone in trouble by talking more than that. But
Okay.
it was amazing, and I can talk to you guys off the air a little bit more
Yes.
if you so desire.
So all I did was buy a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So in addition to maybe a certain jacket I might have impulse bought on the floor.
you made us all very happy.
What's on the back? I actually really couldn't see. Oh, very nice.
Someone came to visit us a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "That's a good jacket."
Yeah, Tony Kim from A Hero Within.
Yeah.
I also may have indulged in a jacket for myself.
And shout out to our own librarian Liz, who tweeted at us because she took home that Black Panther dress and looks fabulous in
The
it.
Yeah.
Black Panther dress is dope. Yes, like thoroughly
nice.
hard to prove on the.
I
Black
would
Panther
love to
dress.
see you in that dress.
I mean, is it Friday already? Yeah.
Is it Friday yet?
Friday's coming fast.
That Friday is
I'll
coming.
be seeing you on your show on
You
Friday,
will be
so.
seeing me on my show on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I-
A wild Taliesin Jaffe is coming to Vampire on Friday.
Oh my God, are you really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Can
even
I say that?
knew-
I can. Too
We
late, I
said
did
it. We
Yeah.
said it on Friday.
Coming on Friday.
Yes, there it is.
I knew that you were coming on. I just didn't know it was this Friday. That's so rad.
Friday.
I'm just
Friday.
gonna try to do all
Friday.
at once.
All right, we're gonna try and do this. All right. Do you need help? Here.
It's,
I'll put
it's
the-
funnier if I just try. Now flip that over because it's got to. No, they're on the both ways. Shit. Okay, pull out the middle one.
What's that thing that looks like Watchmen but
Thank
isn't?
you.
Shitty Watchmen? I really want to know what shitty
I'm
Watchmen
actually
is.
really excited about this.
Oh, Shitty Watchmen
It is
was the
called
best
Shitty
thing.
Watchmen.
Oh, Shitty Watchmen's so exciting.
So,
Oh
Because
no.
I deeply love Watchmen.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Then you will love Shitty Watchmen.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What
It
is-
really is just a shitty Watchmen.
Is it,
Amazing.
is it the entire book just
It's Watchmen.
terribly drawn?
it's a
Just
bunch,
shitty.
It's a bunch of different artists.
Literally, can I turn?
Yeah.
Wait.
So
wait,
we
at the
went
by
this table.
The line?
Hey,
Went 3,000 miles to discover amazing Los Angeles creators. But we went by this
so
one table
good.
where they had this and they had Shitty Dark Knight. And those, of course, were two of the all-time classics.
Yeah.
And essentially, most of the work that these artists do is very like indie, experimental stuff like this. We kind of went nuts at their table. But one of the things that that Nicole, I don't know how to say your last name, Goo.
Nicole and Dave.
Nicole and Dave, that she was saying that, like, you know, despite doing a lot of sort of indie experimental stuff, like they also, the phrase she used was like, I was trying to look at it at one point and just be like, how did Dave Gibbons do this? So she started like trying to sort of thumbnail out like, how is he doing this?
And it-
like she started posting them online, and it turned into this project, and a bunch of artists ended up contributing to do a full length. How did he
May I
do
see
this?
But poorly?
It's partly a joke and it's
Right.
partly a study.
Right.
Like, so
Yeah.
it's both sort of fun and silly, and it's literally artists working out like what is going on in this. And so I was just like, well, I have to buy it.
So deep.
Amazing.
It's so great.
We were torn between Shitty Watchmen and Shitty Dark Knight. It was
I feel like you chose wisely, though.
yeah,
I feel like
I mean,
you
like,
chose wisely.
I mean, it's
Because
Amy,
honestly,
Amy
that
always
is
chose
such an
wisely.
education on top of everything else. That's so cool.
So I loved that because it's you know, I love people taking chances, but I also love like the sort of weird underlying reverence of like figure out how it worked, whether or not you want to work in this style. Like you can
Yeah.
learn a lot by being like, what did he do?
It's like
How
pulling,
did he do
it's
that?
pulling a Chevy engine apart piece by piece as a kid, being like, how does this work? And can I put it back together?
and then not putting it back together very well at
But
all.
shit, then it's just, you're like, I kind of got it back together though.
Then it's a shitty Chevy.
Right.
But the next time you have to reassemble a Chevy, it's going to be slightly less.
gonna
Also,
be
I'm really
just a little bit
excited for
better.
this one. I don't know if you can see the shot
Oh, yeah.
on the cover. Let me try to.
that's cool.
This was one that was like a great tabling idea. They had this propped open to a 2-page spread that I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I have to buy this. Like, even before I got to the text, which was something about a gay revenge thriller, and I was
Yeah.
just like, great, got it. Let's get this.
Shopping with you is such a treat at con, by the way.
I
It was-
want to roll through Artist Alley with you.
It is.
It's so fun,
It is
though.
magical.
So
It is. Yeah.
cool.
So that is a piece of my haul.
Artist Alley, real quick. I got to meet Matt Rosenberg, who was delightful. He's
Good
one of my
people.
favorite new writers.
people. Very
Four
good.
Kids Walk Into a Bank. His run on Multiple Man is blowing my mind right now. Like, issue number 4 of Multiple Man is one of the best time travel romps I've ever seen. Can I spoil one little
Yes,
bitty piece of
yes.
this that will hopefully get everyone in the world to go
Yes.
buy this?
I'm like, earmuffs if you don't want to hear multiple man spoilers.
So a future version of Madrox is going through time for reasons that I'm not going to tell you. But in this one issue, he goes through a lot of different times. But every single time that he goes through is a time period in the Marvel Universe. It's like the Days of Future Past. It's like the Ascani. It's like I think he runs into Kang at some point.
You got to run into Kang.
But the best one was the 1992 swimsuit issue. Madrox
Which I have.
appears. Yes, Madrox. Yeah, so do I. Madrox appears, and everyone's in bikinis and swimsuits. Guys, they are the swimsuits from the issue. They're all dressed as they are in that
Attention
issue.
to detail.
And Madrox shows up, and
Continuity, man.
I can't remember who it is that says it to him, but they're like, "Hey, Jamie, why aren't you in your suit?" And he's like, "Sorry, can't talk right now. Where's this thing? Does anyone know this or that?" And they're like, "Yeah, sorry, we don't understand what you're talking about. You should go get your suit on. We've got the ball going. Like, so-and-so's on the grill." Like, I really want to go back and read the swimsuit issue.
Yeah.
Someone was grilling.
Someone was grilling.
Yeah.
It was like Sunspot or like Human Torch was grilling.
I only remember
like-
She-Hulk on the cover, and it was like oversized.
Yeah, so that was just like, oh, I want to kiss
Oh, wow.
Rosenberg. Like, this is the greatest thing of all time.
That is a blessing.
Oh,
So
wow.
everyone tweeted Rosenberg that
Yes.
he's the greatest and that he should come on
Dude.
our show. Also, Erica Henderson is the most lovely human alive.
This is true.
Right on.
I talked to her about coming on our show, and she said she would be interested. So everyone tweeted her too.
We all separately bugged Eric Henderson.
Yeah.
This is the thing that happened.
But I also,
Erica.
and I'm sorry to do this in front of you guys, but I didn't get you gifts from Comic-Con. But I did get Taliesin and Amy a
I see
gift.
how it is.
You were the gift from Comic-Con.
Thank you.
Matt Key.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, Amy, I got you this. I'm sorry, it's a little rolled up.
It's
Oh, that's
magical.
cool.
Well, that is cool.
And
Beautiful.
and Taliesin, I got you this Captain Marvel Shazam one. Sorry, again, rolled up. It's very long.
Travel. It's difficult.
Travel is very hard with art.
That's cool.
These are from let's see who this
Andrew Day?
Andrew Day illustration. Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
Oh my
super
God, look at that.
super awesome artwork.
Thank you.
And Liz,
very
I
nice.
wasn't sure if you would like this one or not, but I know that you have that Black Panther dress. So I got you Black Panther wherever you're at. Liz, do you?
You have a thing.
Very far.
You can has.
I didn't see anything there that was like, Liz would love this, but I remembered you had your dress. So
I have a love of Captain Marvel.
That is dope.
I can't say Shazam yet. I know I have to learn.
love you.
What do you mean you
I-
didn't say it? You just said
I
it.
can't call him Shazam. It's weird.
Oh, right.
And
I'll get there. I'll get there.
You know what? I was a Marvel
Also-
kid first, so he was always Shazam to me, because Captain Marvel is
Same.
Captain Marvel.
Same.
So.
And then also for you too, I got Amy, the 13th Doctor.
Oh.
And then Taliesin, I got you Captain EO. So
Good to know you know who your friends are.
yeah.
like
So
that.
anyway, the gifts.
We'll have a
Yay,
long
I love
talk
you
about
guys.
Captain-
Thank you so much. So
Without slightly further ado, I'm going to start this off the way that we normally should. Tess,
Hi.
how'd you get in comic books?
How did I get into comic books making them or into them reading them?
Reading them.
reading them.
Oh, this is
Loving-
Important
okay.
distinction. Important
Okay.
distinction.
Do you remember a book called Space Beaver?
No.
Space Beaver?
Oh, this is the best day of my life. This is the best day of my life. I wish I had a picture. Okay, Derek Robertson, when he was like 16, 17, did his own indie book. And it's a little beaver, and it's violent and terrible. And he's little and fluffy, and he has a little friend who's a little turtle.
This is explaining so
This
much
is
about
amazing.
It's really, no, everything
I-
makes sense now.
And I found it, it was like 86, 87 thereabouts. And I found it in my older brother's room, pilfered it under my little arm, ran out, and I was like, oh my gosh. And there's a picture of him in the back with the poofy 80s hair, like looking very suave. It's a little black and white photo. And I was like, one day, this will be my life. You know, Space Beaver. It was so cool. And years later, I had this memory of this book, right? I still have it, but I had this memory of this book, and when I found his other stuff later in life, I was like, no, this is him. And went back and I eventually tweeted it at him online.
That's
Have you
amazing.
met
This
the
is
guy?
Eric
No.
Robertson, future artist of Transmetropolitan and The Boys and a million amazing things. But
Yes.
first, Space Beaver?
Space Beaver. Wait, I have the internet. Hang on. I will find it for you. But yeah, that was my origin story. That
Make
was
sure
my...
you turn on Safe Search before you Google Space Beaver. I've been on the internet before, folks.
Now
Not
I'm
my first
afraid.
rodeo.
B-Day's
Yeah.
coming out with some
Today's
jokes.
episode sponsored by. No, never mind.
Okay.
So while we're digging, B Dave,
Yes.
remind us how you gotten. It's been a while. How you got into comics.
It has been a
That's
while.
been like since episode 10 for you guys, I think.
No. I think January.
Yeah, no, I was here for your birthday.
Yeah, Evil Villain.
Yeah, I was here for the villains for your
seems like
birthday.
it was so long ago.
But that was like 5 years in internet time. Though.
Yeah, no, that was.
Yeah. My mom was a fan my entire life, so I was kind of like always like knee deep in this sort of thing. But my first comic I ever read was X-Men: God Loves, Man Kills.
Nice.
Yeah, which is like a
That was your
super
first?
Hello,
first,
Steven.
Whoa.
which should be no one's first.
Whoa.
Amazing.
But it worked clearly.
Yeah.
It is a super dark, intense graphic novel from the '80s. Again, where it's there's a televangelist that is preaching that mutants are demons and that they're all wrong. And me coming from the South with a very religious upbringing resonated instantly. So even though I was way too young to be reading this story, like thematically, I got it.
Yeah.
And the hook was set, man. Like the hook was set. It was because
beautiful book, too.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Beautiful book.
But being a little kid, everybody knew who Wolverine was, and
Yeah.
I just saw Wolverine on the cover. That was the only rationale of like, let me see what the kids are on about type thing, and then
And that was it.
there it is.
Okay, so you. Oh my God, you have to like.
get
All right,
to that.
that's. I don't even know how to
see
feel
a
about
Space
that.
Beaver?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's his bunny rabbit girlfriend, right?
Oh, yeah, no, you gotta have that.
Right. I mean, of course, I felt it was implied.
Yes, and his little buddy is
What-
a little turtle.
And what company? Oh my God, this is.
I believe that was just him. That was just him independently.
Oh, the turtle's amazing.
Yeah.
Who created this?
Derek Robertson.
I feel like I feel like I mean, and there's a lot happening with that
Derek
beaver's
Robertson
hair.
is way
Yes.
too good at lettering for a 16-year-old.
Yeah. I wish I could find the photo. I would
Like,
have to bring you the photo.
I can't even.
That logo
can't
is-
even.
Yeah.
I can't.
Real good.
Can't.
It is. Oh, that pig. Look, he's up to no good.
No, that pig is definitely a problem. That pig is like Steven Seagal level problem.
And
That's true.
this was little me. Just my brain like went, and everything came online. It was like, oh, I see my future. I see this is gonna
No,
happen.
and that reminds me so much of those weird little indie books that would like creep into my bag as a teenager.
That was your
Yep.
Rosetta Stone, though, right?
Yep.
It all like recalibrated.
All of it.
Can I add an extra layer? This is because we love to get everybody's how you started reading comics, but since we have sort of a dual theme today, can I ask how RPGs came into your life?
You want to take that one first?
Yeah, I can start. My first game was Riffs.
Yay!
Riffs. Yeah, man. Even before D&D was Riffs. 'Cause friends of mine were playing in junior high, and we all kind of got into it. And yeah, I don't know if you've ever played any of the old Palladium games, but the power creep was insane. Like every book, the things were twice as strong as the book before it, type thing. And in the midst of all of that, one of my friends was a super hipster about it and was like, "We should just play D&D." Which, by the way,
Oh, are you
props
gonna
to
show it off?
you.
Yes.
This is how.
Yep, that's what D&D looked like.
nice.
Which, if you don't have one of these with like the ratty worn seams, and like the shoddy binding inside, like you might not be serious. Yeah. So this back in my day, you had to calculate Thaco and bend bars, lift gates.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a trip.
Yeah, man. So
And
since
Thaco
I
means to hit armor class 0.
exactly, they're googling it frantically. Like Thaco searches just went up 7,000% there. Yeah.
Oh man, this is my childhood.
Yeah, man. And 13-year-old me just dove in and haven't looked back. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I brought visual aids.
It's true.
I've said that 10 times today.
Yeah.
Look at all these wonderful optional modifiers to initiative based on size. Oh my God, what a nightmare this game was.
Oh, it was awful, but lovely, but awful.
Man, somehow you survived Rifts, which blows my mind. Which is that system. Yeah, the power creep on that system. Did you ever get to the Robotech?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and
The
the
SDF
mechanoids
one
and all
can
that
literally kill anything.
Yeah, no, it was super crunchy and super stupid. And that was their motivation to keep selling books is like, if you want to, live.
Survive.
Yeah, you have to
And
buy
did you have that moment of like, this will be the rest of my life? I will never be without this? Or was there a time period where, you weren't really gaming?
No. I have been playing tabletop RPGs my entire life, nonstop, because it was Rifts, then D&D, then World of Darkness, Vampire, and Werewolf, but I was playing, and then I took a detour into a game, and not a lot of people don't know Battlelords of the 23rd Century.
I don't know that one.
Battlelords
Man, I
is
wanna know that one.
Battlelords is my favorite game of all time. Maybe I should be saying that with like WotC people are like, oh, Pearl Clutch, how dare you? Yeah, but
Wrong
Plus
episode.
my D20. Shock.
For those of them that might not know, what's a WotC?
Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast, the fine company that currently makes Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, that publishes it now. Battlelords is basically Aliens meets the Fifth Element.
Cool.
You're mercenaries. It's your job because that's how you progress as a character. Is you make money from missions and you buy better stuff, and that's how
wanna play
you
that game.
proceed. Yeah.
For some reason, every single time you say the name of the game, I think Battletoads.
Battlelords is Battletoads,
Well,
yeah.
you know what's funny? There's a race in it that basically looks like the Battletoads. They're called Ram Pythons.
Oh, they're not called Battletoads?
No, but they can be. You know what? When we play, you can call them that. Yeah.
Can we play? Because
my-
I would love to play.
100% I will run Battlelords for you. I deeply love that game. I deeply love that game. Yes.
So,
Tess?
Okay. So I'm the youngest of 5, right? My older sibling that's closest in age to me is 9 years older. So I saw a lot of bad things, a lot of terrible things when I was little. Was exposed to things I never should have been exposed to, including D&D. I had an older sister who lived in an apartment a few streets away when I was like 6 or 7 years old. And they used to run a game every week. And I got to tag along. And they'd put me to bed on the couch, but I'd be peeking up over the back watching them play. And it was back in the day when you'd go to the local game shop and sign up with strangers. And just randomly, okay, whoever grabs this comes to my house. And so I was never allowed to really get involved, but I would peek up over the edge of the table. They had one of those when you're cutting patterns where it's a grid that you unfold, they would put that on the tabletop, and that's how they would play with the old school pewter figures. And that was it. I was done. That was my introduction.
Perfect squares. That's never occurred to me. But every costume room has one of those.
1-inch squares.
Yeah. And so I inherited, once they all, left and went their separate ways, got married and stuff, I inherited all the pewter figures. I inherited all the dungeon guides, or all the guides. I inherited everything. But I never really got to play till I was in junior high and had a couple friends who were into it. But yeah, that was my dream, was these are my people. What's happening? Yeah. So.
And did you know that was going to be?
Yes. Immediately. Absolutely immediately. Comics and D&D. I was like, this is it. I had to trek out of my hometown to be my people are out there.
I will say one other thing that helped me with D&D was back in those days. This was, I guess very early 90s by this point. But again, South, religious. It was bad. It was still at the end of that stigma that this is wrong. So it actually got to be simultaneously nerdy and rebellious.
There was not a lot that kind of hit both those buttons. It's very true.
Remind me where you grew up?
Little Rock, Arkansas.
You're an Arkansas boy, and where?
Northern California.
Nice.
Yep, over by IBM in San Jose.
Ooh, you're an IBM baby.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
Pinky up.
Jody Hauser wants to play a game with that game with
Battlelords of the 23rd Century.
Yeah, Battletoads. She wants to play
I will.
Battletoads
The
with
four of you and internet. The four of them and Jody Hauser. I'm down. So if it doesn't happen, know that they flaked.
Wait, how did you know that?
Right.
Because she said
They-
so.
Oh, I'm like,
They-
what do you?
You can't wait. You can't hear her.
Jody's literally
I'm
everywhere.
like you don't hear her.
Astral projecting into
She speaks to us.
Jody bought a Cibrio at New York Comic Con, and now it's all just
Right.
telepathic.
Yeah.
It's like we've established that Erica Ishii lives in the rafters.
Yeah, that's true.
And Jody's
She is
astrally
the Phantom
projecting.
of Stage 2.
Yes, right.
I was like, Jody,
exactly.
talk to me. Talk to me.
You're unworthy. You haven't
Why
proven
can I
yourself.
not hear your message?
I have a tendency to accidentally astrally project to my friends
Hauser.
and spy on them.
Right.
So,
Right.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
well, I'm a creep, so what can I say?
It's true. It's not creepy when you have consent. Anytime. If I just see
Thank
a
you,
floating
Dad.
Mad Key head,
Wait.
I'll be like,
Me,
yeah, all right.
Dave.
Yeah, it's like Doctor Strange, Professor X,
no.
you. Right.
Meanwhile, at B. Dave's apartment.
Get this thing that they all had, that look that they always give Doctor Strange's head.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
As if it hadn't happened 15 times
Yeah.
before.
Oh, Dr. Strange, geez, come on, man.
Yeah.
And now you're into Doctor Strange now.
This
You-
is-
It's your
this is-
fault.
I know. I'm very
It's your
proud of it.
fault,
I'm very,
dude.
very proud of it.
It's your fault. I watch your show way too much. Yes. Way too much.
Or the appropriate amount.
And when Chris and I went and saw him on the big screen, we were both like, oh, it's Matt. Wait, no. And then it was like, okay, I guess we got to get the books now, huh? Wow, okay. It's just a part of my life now, and I was completely unwilling. I was unwilling, and then I was fascinated. And it's it.
And props to you for representing Doctor Strange how you have, because up until the very recent past, he's not a super accessible character.
I know.
Oh.
Like,
I know.
some of the old stories were like trippy when he's all, yeah.
Yeah, like the one where Englehart and Brunner took acid and walked around New York City with Larry Hama, I want to say, and Starlin, I think. And they came up with the idea that Doctor Strange should take Clea back through time to show her the history of humanity, and they ended up in the Revolutionary War, and she and Benjamin Franklin had an affair. Yeah, really dense, real weird.
See, it's stuff like that where I came in as a non-believer, and I'm just like, wow, I need to know about that. I really need to know about that.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
There's so much.
You've ruined me.
There's so
Voluminous.
much.
Voluminous amounts, yes.
So we haven't gotten into this too much, but for those who might not be aware, Tess is a really kick-ass artist. She makes the comics now, and it's fantastic.
I do.
You should check out Kid Lobotomy, recently collected.
You just did a cover for was it Plastic Man? Or was it...
Plastic Man.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Plastic Man number 5 is out today, I believe.
Ooh, hey,
But
because
like-
they drop on the Wednesdays.
So why we tend to let our guests pick the subject. It's kind of it's a thing because we find it's far more interesting if you're talking about things you're interested in. Why this? Why this? Why this?
Why this? Are we?
Why all of
Are we?
this?
Why
are we
this? Why this,
allowed
Tess?
Can we?
I mean, we will tell you. We will give you a safe word if we want you to stop. There's nothing.
Okay.
that's
Okay.
like-
The safe word's pineapple. for the
Pineapple.
record.
It's time. It's time.
It's time?
Okay.
Is it here?
Number one reason. Is because me and this nice gentleman right here are making a Dungeons and Dragons book.
What?
It's time. My destiny has been fulfilled.
It is here. The time is upon
It
us.
is
Air horns all over the nation.
It appears to be nigh.
The only
Yes.
reason I am not standing up and running around this table is that we are literally mic'd into long cords.
No,
Yes.
it's like Evangelion robot. We are like, if we can only go as far as the limit of our power.
Yeah, we are Pacific Rim right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We're all keyed in.
This is it. This is the moment that little Tess was waiting for. This is it. I have fulfilled my destiny.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on this ride with me.
And may I say to both of you, some like the youngest kid of 5 in some family is going to pick up your book and say, I want to do this someday.
Yes,
And 20
yes.
years from now, they'll be doing it because of you.
Yes. Yes.
That is
And
true.
We'll be like, how did you get into comics?
I know, right?
It's true. And they'll be like,
Except for Taliesin, he'll still look and
He'll
sound
look
the same.
exactly
No,
like that.
yeah.
I'll look exactly the same with slightly.
I'm
Literally
staring over
this.
for
Yeah, you
chat
can be-
to find this out. Hold on. I'm really excited.
early next year.
Spring 2019.
Spring 2019, IDW Comics, written by me, drawn by her.
me.
Yes. And it's going to be like a big, crazy, like war epic book. Like it's not like a fun, frilly, silly book. It's like a hardcore, intense,
With
death and
mayonnaise.
destruction, blowing things up, stopping time, and throwing meteor swarm book.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
Everybody's
be-
in it. Everything's happening all
have
at once.
so
I
many-
got there. Chat's on fire.
I have
Yes.
so
Yeah,
many
chat-
questions
chat's
that I
loving it.
cannot. Well,
I mean, you
ask
can.
what
We
you
just may not be able to answer.
So like I start because I had never delved into the classic old school
Oh.
comic books until you gave me a reading.
Oh, this is okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that happened to me this week.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Oh my God!
is
That's
So
that's
good.
the story that I got to read, and I was like, this is the worst. Why did I not get to read more?
Yeah.
It's so
these
good.
are like the most well-kept comic book secrets, but these were how it really started for me because, you know, everybody did,
Forgotten
like
Realms.
these lived in my house,
Forgotten
right?
Realms.
These lived, and these were great, but I was like, I'm not a painter. I'm not a painter. I found these with many of the same characters,
Yep.
right? And which camera? That camera? There we go.
Yep. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, you know,
Callback, Act 1
these
callback.
these were magic for me. And what a lot of people don't understand is how much of the lore is in here.
Yeah.
Those characters that you grew up, you know, reading and loving are
Yeah.
all in here.
It's
This was sort of the late 80s, a lot of these. A number of series at the time published by DC, and shout out to IDW, who has made them available in new editions, at least online. I didn't check on the print availability, but
But you can get
they're on
these
Comixology.
recollected in trades.
Yeah.
there are traits and there are huge. There are like at least 2 volumes worth that are free on Comixology. At least
Yes.
of the
Yeah,
Unlimited.
Comixology.
Dragonlance.
Yeah.
The Dragonlance ones are not, but the
Yeah.
Forgotten Realms, the first 2 volumes are free.
And also, there's a whole new Forgotten Realms series to jump on board with.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can be there from the beginning of this next one. Yeah.
So at the time DC was doing them, they had a separate series for Dungeons and Dragons, for Dragonlance, and for Forgotten Realms. It looks like, and were these the earliest of the like official licensed D&D comics, or
As far as I know,
Yeah.
these were the very, very first. Those like, you know, there was something for everyone.
Yeah.
What's amazing about the Forgotten Realms, like they were short-lived, but what's amazing about the Forgotten Realms art, what drew me in was the artist Rags Morales, who went on to do.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Look, like welcome to Baldur's Gate. I mean,
Yes.
holy. I mean, this blew my mind. Where I'm like, oh my God, this is like right,
Yeah.
and then it's this beautiful image, and I think that's the lead singer of Aerosmith is a bard in the.
Oh my God, really?
yeah.
like-
that's-
Steven
that's-
Tyler?
There's.
Oh my God, it is.
All right, here we'll blow it up. So you
Yep.
can see it.
Oh my
There's
God,
Steven-
that is totally
we
Steven
actually found
Tyler.
out Steven
Oh
Tyler
my
is
God.
playing a lute out in the corner of Baldur's Gate.
that is in fact-
Tyler?
Oh
Steven
my
Tyler.
God,
Yeah.
amazing.
That was my favorite thing about these was that they are so reflective of the time.
Yeah.
Like Reva Silvercrown looks like a rocker girl. Like, you know, like she could have come straight out of like the Cherry Pie video. Like they're so cool.
Well, and also a lot of these characters, this was the first time that these characters and locations that you got to put like an actual face on them.
Yes.
Like you'd read about them and you'd heard about them, but you're like, no, it's actually like this. You're like,
Yep.
oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, exactly. And where is
This one is Ron Randall, but it's the.
that's Reva?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Reva.
We all got excited and separately took pictures.
Yes, we did.
There we go.
I was like, we lost all 3 of you simultaneously.
You know where the pants were always like, oh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what? That's that is internet magic. Yeah. So this is still the Forgotten Realms book, right?
This
no.
one
That's
is
Dragonlance.
Dragonlance.
That's
the Dragonlance book.
book.
Fantastic first issue, December 1988.
Yep.
Michigan, Randall, and Elliott bringing this one to you.
You said that's 88 because these are 92. Yeah.
They were
Nice,
all
nice,
they were
nice.
all within that
Yeah,
range.
yeah, yeah.
Right,
Late 80s,
yeah.
early 90s.
So there's so many. I have so many things that I picked up from these that were
Yes.
really, really interesting.
Yes.
I mean, first of all, for audience at home, in case they don't know, what is Forgotten Realms and what is Dragonlance?
Yes. Oh, we've been skipping some
Oh my
steps
God,
here.
so
We're
much,
gonna let you
Dungeons
try
and
take that
Dragons.
one.
Gore, real quick, Gomeyer says Aerosmith with a arrow.
It's just reversing back to the actual original. Like,
Possibly, but I didn't think of it. And I thought it
I
was clever.
love it.
Yeah. They were different campaign worlds. There's been a couple of times there was some nods that maybe they might be like adjacent to each other or connections or different-
Multi-dimensional.
Right. But,
Woo-woo.
but for the most part, different. There was Ravenloft, Forgotten Realms, Dragonlance, and then just the generic fantasy setting, you know. And then of course there's plenty of others that maybe only existed in like a box set type thing. So there was the Forgotten Realms characters, or places like Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights, Waterdeep, all that stuff happened there. And then there's the different sets of heroes, and like the Dritz Duerden stories, and then the Catti-brie and Bruenor and all those in the novels, and then Icewind Dale.
You're so good at this.
Man.
You're so good at this.
Yeah.
There is no better partner in crime to have on this adventure.
How did this happen? If anything you can reveal on the internet.
Because I was a fan and I spend way too much time watching the Geek and Sundries.
Yay, thank you.
And I knew he was absolutely passionate about storytelling. So I was like, want to make a book? And he was like, I have a book. See this? It's ready. Let's go. Let's do it. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And that was
You just had like a D&D pitch sitting around?
Okay, so actually, let me take
No
like
joke.
one tiny step back here, especially for those of you that are figuring out how you break into things. The way you break in is by doing
inside. Oh.
Oh no, you do astral project, like
Oh,
that's
okay.
true, yeah. But you just do things. Because actually, a couple months back, I had a friend of mine. So I'd been working on a webcomic.
So true.
I got a deal to do a comic adaptation of a book that somebody had self-published. And I was looking for an artist, and somebody gave me your name. And I hit you up, and you were like, this is cool, but it's not my thing. And I was like, no
right.
problem, right?
right.
And then a few months later, I guess because you knew I was capable of writing comics also,
Yeah.
we're like, literally, she's like, would you be interested in doing a D&D book? And I literally was like, stop right there, I'm in. Yeah, like I'll do it, yeah. And then you're right, the pitch came super fast. Because my whole thing, the reason why I love these stories, the reason why I love D&D so much is I love the idea of, yes, you start as like little baby people, but you become forces of nature, like demigods.
Please make D&D babies.
Well, the
I
whole...
would read D&D babies.
We
I would
read
draw
it.
that.
Well,
I would draw that.
in the very first thing I said to you,
Yep.
the very first thing, how this was born, and I don't want to give away too much of the plot, but I was like, heroes who have like veterans who've been together for many years that have to come out of retirement to save the world one more time. Mm-hmm. And that was the initial premise.
And I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
yeah. So the conversation was literally like 15 minutes.
Yeah. And then it was like, did we just become best friends?
Yes.
We're best friends now.
But when we talk, it's funny
Yeah.
because our conversations go roughly an hour longer than we mean to. Because we were like, okay, one more
Kind of
thing.
typical of a lot of people in this building, to be fair.
It's true. Where you're like, no, one more thing, and then I'm gonna stop. Right. And then she
And then
says
we're like,
something
oh, wait, no, let me tell you, I have a story about that. And
Right.
then we just go back and forth. It's like, dude, it's 1 a.m.
Yep.
What are we doing?
It happens like a lot. Like
Yeah.
we email each other like business stuff, and we CC like the company at like 4 a.m. And we're like, why are you awake? Why are you awake?
Yeah. And the editor's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
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 D&D.
That is true.
D&D.
Cover
That's
art.
something.
She submitted cover art at 4 a.m. I submitted script notes at 4 a.m. the next day. Yeah, it's just, it's true.
Yeah.
This
we
is
do
so
things.
cute.
So,
I can't even.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really excited. And you will be joining, like, a lot of really awesome people have worked on these books. In recent years, D&D has had runs by TV's own John Rogers. A lot of great stuff by Jim Zub, who is, like, now on Avengers and everywhere, but, like, just basically did what you're suggesting, just made stuff and made stuff and made stuff until they were like, you are basically doing D&D.
It's true.
But, like, I'm really excited to I can't believe this is happening.
I know. Us either.
It
Us either.
really is
Seriously.
a dream, though. But to
Yeah.
have spent so much time in my life in comic book worlds and have spent so much time in my life in fantasy worlds to not just get to participate now, but to impact it, because this is continuity. So, like, the things we do matter. And
I'm not going to ask which universe you're playing in.
Forgotten Realms.
Oh, it's going to be in Forgotten.
Forgotten Realms. Forgotten Realms. Yep. Yeah, I don't mind telling that. And I will say also, people that are like lore fiends, there's a lot of lore in this, and there's a lot of like repercussions of like global D&D events that happened, and like, well, what happened to the people that were near that and in proximity to that, and where did they go afterwards? And
I can always tell Tess desperately trying not to.
Dude, it's so cool. I want to tell you everything. I want to show you pictures.
I've learned your damn you NDA face. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn you, India.
You know, like the most amazing thing about this is that this is legacy. This is tradition. This is something that, you know, when I was a kid and they were like, you can't make comics like this. Like, you know, when I was coming up at 23 and 24, editors were like, it's fantasy. All your stuff is fantasy. You got to do other stuff. That's what's more marketable. It's like, all right, had to teach myself other stuff, and then all of a sudden this renaissance came, and I'm like, it's my time. It's my time.
It's Renaissance fair, you mean? Sorry.
Yeah, right?
Feel dirty.
And I mean, obviously, don't laugh at me. Everybody knows I'm a critter. Everybody knows
What? I didn't know. We didn't discuss this.
Absolutely, I'm
not wearing a hoodie
representing
right now.
today.
Yeah.
I'm representing. But
Very
this is
comfortable hoodie.
this is what I
Every
do
time.
for fun. This is where I live. Like when they called me up, like, hey, you want a D&D book? I was like, do you know who you're talking to? Do you know this is where I'm meant to be? Can I stay here for 20 years? Like, yes, please. So
I will tell you, she did tell me that. She was like, this is the sum total of my ambition. I'm happy now. And me being
my
me,
God.
I'm like, well, now we're going to do more things. And she's like, no, I'm going to do this thing. And I was like,
I was like, go
You
ahead.
never want to fill your ambition. That's how we get supervillains. At that point,
Well,
that's true.
I mean,
there's nothing left to conquer. I must find new worlds.
Yeah. I think with this book in particular, though, we're really working we included a ton of diversity in it. We included a ton of new and different characters.
Side note, when you sent us these books and I went into it, I was just like, oh, like the first book I looked at from the classics, I was like, I believe there's a rad black lady front and center on this book. Like, you go 1988. People would be mad about that now.
But it was this safe little world where anything could happen, but outsiders were like, dragons, what? And I'm like, no, wait. This is just this epicenter of awesomeness. And granted, people are like, okay, it's a little cheesy, but it was for its time, it was perfection.
I mean, 89 to 92. Like, remember, like Predator 2 was
A lot was
like we accepted a lot in 92.
Hey, are we really talking about Predator 2 right now?
I'm just saying we accepted a lot in 92. That's all.
We still accept Predator 2. We still like to wait. We're not.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll fight on this couch right now.
Fight.
By the way, are we allowed to say other things?
I mean, let's do it.
About the other.
I hate to say,
other thing?
I'm from the position of ask forgiveness rather than ask permission. So I think we should also say we're working on an official streaming tie-in show for the comic, also.
What?
So,
What?
Yeah, that's the
What
other
does
news.
that even mean?
yeah,
That's the other news.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of this.
a lot.
On camera.
A lot of this is going to be happening.
Yeah.
Which this is a thing she doesn't do, by the way. And props to you. Props to you. You told me this year you were saying yes to things that normally you would have said no
I'm very
to.
proud of that.
And me being terrible was like, so we're going on the Wednesday Club and we're gonna
Literally.
do this other show.
Literally.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
literally. And Tess told me, she's like, they've been trying to get me and I kept saying no.
Yeah.
And when I went to talk to Liz,
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
when I went to talk to
True.
Liz
We
was
love you.
like,
Yeah.
are you sure Tess will do it? Because she keeps
Tess
saying
Fowler,
no.
She said yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I said yes.
it's true. It's
This
true.
is the year of.
Tess Thompson. Like if it's a no Tess Thompson one, well, that makes much more sense.
Right.
I mean, she can come as well.
Right. Also, zone of
Everyone
safety.
tweeted Tess Thompson that she should be on our show.
Just to be honest.
100%.
Finally.
It's true. She did. All of that is true. All of that is true. Yeah. So it's an exciting
amazing.
it's an exciting time to be a geek, honestly. It just in
It
general.
really is.
It's
really,
a very
like,
reasonable
I-
time. It's
Like going back to Doctor Strange, I 100% knew that we won when they announced that he was getting a movie. I was like, Doctor, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
With
no, it's
Benedict
official. We
Cumberbatch,
won.
no less.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
with one of
like-
the top tier actors in the world, like playing the role. Like, oh, so we won.
Yeah. So we won. Like,
So we got out of the lockers and we like showed the jocks
Right,
that
you all into the lockers with
we were
us.
better
This is it.
than that, and we gave them swirlies.
Right.
Yes, that's not how that works.
We gave them magical swirlies.
We gave
Oh,
Dr. Strange.
We came to bargain with them. Yeah, I'm with you. No, I was just having that conversation with somebody earlier this week. I was like, it's only been about 10-ish years
Yeah.
that you could say, like, I love Doctor Strange with a straight face.
Yeah.
You know, like, Spider-Man's my jam.
Yeah.
Without having to be like, yeah, but, like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to down.
Oh yeah, like the first 25 years of my life were. Oh, my favorite comic book character is someone you've probably never heard of. A guy named Doctor Strange. He's
Yep. Yep.
like a wizard. Like imagine like
Yep. Well,
Captain America's cool too, though.
Well, and you find out how many closet fans there are, how many closet D&D fans there were.
Yeah.
That, like once they were kind of
many.
like you like D&D too? like I got like an elven, like an elven robe. I've been playing.
I got to come of age in the Elysium fields of the LA nerd scene, but
Right.
But like yes,
I did not.
You and Chris
I
both.
did not.
You and
Yeah.
Chris both. Yeah.
things were slightly better out here, but that's its own thing.
Yes.
I have a couple questions that are just kind of technical that I was kind of curious about. One of the things that's really interesting in these comics is the way that magic is treated. Like they damn well know they're in a role-playing game. I don't know if that
Yes,
makes sense.
I
to me.
caught-
Oh, yeah, I caught that also.
where-
They're like, I will cure light wounds.
They're like, allow me to cure light
Missile.
wounds.
Yeah.
I've only got 1 cure light wounds. Oh, you're a player, not a character. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Or very-
In the world of it, they're just sort of like, here's what I can do. Here's what's in my capacity. I can use magic missile. Like they don't like.
And,
They
like-
don't exactly. They're not sitting there being like, here's what I took at my
No,
level.
and like even the villains are like, yes, waste all of your magic before your long rest. You
Yeah.
will be powerless.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, but whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that is very on the nose.
In
It is-
Dungeons and Dragons Classic, they include the character info for, like, in the back. I didn't realize this till I was going through it, but it's like issue 1. Here's all of the like stats for the character that you're reading about. Where I'm just like, you're giving me spoilers, right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
They're using detect
They
good
didn't
and
care.
like I found a panel of them using detect good and evil.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
I pulled that.
Yeah.
oh, that went to
No,
that's
detect evil. Detect
no,
evil.
damn it. No, that's,
We're detecting panels.
that's my prom
Cast
photo.
detect
Never mind
panel.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry, prom photo popped up. Here we go.
Tasteful nudes, though. It's all tasteful
all
nudes.
very
Because he's a paladin.
Yeah,
Right.
but yeah, he's doing the detect, and I love that they like very much like the animated series when we were a kid. I mean, like they really
The Dungeon Master?
archetypes. I love that animated series. Growing
Oh, yeah. Everyone did.
And-
It makes no sense, by the way.
None.
Like, you rode a roller coaster to another world because reasons.
because reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. Because 80s.
Well, before we go on any further, you
brought
need to
something.
pause real quick and remind everyone that we need our topic, our 5-minute topic for the end of the show. So please start getting those in, and our producer Liz will choose that and terrify us. with it.
Unlimited power.
I'm so scared.
No, it'll be fine.
No, you.
I know. I was like, if you all are familiar with the 5-minute topics, and Tess is like, oh, I know.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
I know.
I'm so familiar. We took that for our show. Like, I actually swaggerjacked your concept.
Well,
and
we
used it.
invented asking questions, Dave.
Hey, I'm telling you, I'm giving you props for it. I'm coming back to the well here, is where it started.
Now, and if you'll forgive us, this is the first time we've ever done this, but we're going to take a second here to show a short video from our sponsor, Dungeon Fog.
Oh, what?
Thanks to them for sponsoring the episode. And check this out.
But don't take my word for it.
They're like, no, I snagged character stuff from.
Hello, I'm Guy from the YouTube channel How to Be a Great GM, and I've got a fantastic thing to tell you about today. That, of course, is the launch of Dungeon Fog. Now, Dungeon Fog is a browser-based map designer, map editor for all of your role-playing needs. Now, what I particularly like about this piece of software is that it's so simple to use, so intuitive, so easy that anyone can do it, including me. Now, the idea behind Dungeon Fog is that you can create maps on the fly, or you can create maps, come back to them later, and re-edit them, rechange them. So if you haven't prepared for tonight's game, you can just open up an old map, move some walls around, move some furniture around, splash a coat of paint on the walls, and your players will think that you have generated it from scratch. It really is a powerful package, which I cannot wait to get my hands on to continue to create awesome maps for my players. This really will elevate my game to the next level, and it can elevate yours too. Now, it is free to use, but you can also sign up for a subscription, whereby you get access to even more stuff. If you use the Wednesday Club as your promo code, type in Wednesday Club, you can get 10% off of your subscription. That's a fantastic deal, and that's at www.dungeonfog.com. Anyway, until next time, I wish you and yours the happiest of map making.
I kind of want that tiger skin rug. Anyway,
I know,
yeah,
right?
I was.
Well, as you saw in the video, check out www.dungeonfog.com/the Wednesday Club, or use the promo code Wednesday Club to get 10% discount on your first annual premium subscription. Forgive me for reading it, but I wanted to make sure that we got all that information out. It's good
Great.
information. So,
It's important.
yay, Dungeon Fog!
you.
Yay, thank you, Dungeon Fog. And now back to you two. So tell us, how did you two meet? When's the wedding?
It's true.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Right.
kidding. It was.
I had an inappropriate response to that.
No, what is it?
Or a very appropriate response.
I study polygamy on the side, Mormon polygamy. So like I'm just saying it's not a problem. Like, you like Chris likes you. It's all good. I mean, I could have my own hair.
So we're bringing everybody
True.
back.
That's all
we're
I'm
bringing everybody
saying.
back for the Flintstones comic book issue.
So what you're saying is there's no need to split the party. I get it. Makes sense.
I was going to say, so we're going to have everyone back for our giant-sized wedding.
Giant-sized
special.
wedding.
Wait, how has there not been like a monster attack thing where it's like the tagline is never split the wedding party.
You know what? Got to
Why
save something for
aren't
the
you
sequel.
writing?
Yeah, there it is.
I don't know enough about
aren't you?
wedding
That's
stuff, but like there's superstitions. There's a whole, you could do a magical angle here.
Matt Key may know more about weddings than anybody else that I know. So to be fair,
Are you like a wedding scholar?
No,
You do
but
like-
I've been through one.
you
You
built.
did have one.
It's true.
That's fair.
You're a veteran.
I did do one. So
Yeah.
and that's
What
the only
happened
one
while I was
plan to
there?
That is
ever
true.
do.
But it was
It was
lot of
a
one.
giant blur, and it was a great one,
lot
but
of one.
I barely remember any of it because it moved so fast. So it really did. It was amazing, and those are all stories for Brittany and me. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was about to tell you some stories, and I was like,
No. Well,
better keep those private. I'm a very open person, but yeah.
Me too.
stops at the
No, weddings are great, and you can watch my proposal online if you want. So.
What was it? What was your proposal?
Oh man, have you never?
Oh
Because
no.
I have a proposal story too. Let's see.
Oh no.
Throw it up.
You may want.
See.
Oh boy. Okay.
Challenge, gauntlet, let's go.
Throne.
Oh no.
It was a LARP that I wrote with the help of Matt Mercer and Marisha.
There were literal mermaids involved.
That's amazing.
We had about 30 people involved, about 24 people involved in the story, and about 6 to 8 people backstage.
It took all day.
It was an all-day thing. It took me 3 to 4 months to plan it and write it and get all the props and costumes for it, and then we surprised Brittany and old Griffith Zoo.
And they filmed the whole thing and it's online.
We filmed it, and our friend Xing sculpted an acorn to hold a GoPro.
Oh my God.
And Brittany's sister Amanda dressed as a giant squirrel and only chirped the entire time. But thankfully Mercer could speak squirrel, and she ran around with the camera hidden in the acorn, and Brittany never knew that she was being filmed.
She cry? Were there tears?
Yeah, no, there were tears at the end.
Aw, I want to cry now.
He cried.
I
We all know
Yeah,
you cried.
yeah, of course. Like I was gonna say, like I came close. And I was like, no, what are, like I,
Yeah,
like,
you're-
like, yeah.
Yeah. You're a sensitive
Vanessa
boy.
and Drew. Who are the mermaids? It was Vanessa.
Vanessa, Jessica Drew, and Sarah Stringfellow.
Yeah, Stringfellow. That's right.
Wow.
Stringfellow, one of
You
our.
you had Drew. That was like the mermaid.
Oh yeah.
She is the mermaid.
The mermaid.
Wow.
Yeah. Everyone go look up Jessica Drew mermaid. It's
Yeah.
They're watching it. They've.
Yeah, it was so like it was a 2.5-hour trek for her through old Griffith Zoo, and her mom and dad were there, and Marisha was being attacked by trolls. And every single place that they went was 2 of our closest friends and a private joke about our relationship and some riddle that she had to solve. Again, another private joke.
And then it all.
And then
And she said yes.
and she said yes.
That worked out nice.
Imagine if she hadn't.
Composer Austin, yeah, right.
It'd be a very different
all of
video
that.
on the
We should
internet.
just be friends.
Composer Austin Wintry wrote a song just for the proposal. Thank you, Austin, if you're watching. And then I had a 200-person surprise party that night. So
Mine, I had 500 stormtroopers, Darth Vader. I was dressed like Han Solo, and my husband Chris was Boba Fett, which is what he had worn when I met him at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh my
That was
God.
how we met, because at San Diego Comic-Con I did Boba Fett. It was my first convention. He came over, we took a picture, the rest was history. But yeah, I was Han Solo and he was Boba Fett. That was how we got engaged.
oh my God,
I mean, granted, yours is like way more complex and better, but
holy cow!
it was the official 501st photo.
Oh my God.
And he got down on
my
one knee,
God.
busted his Boba Fett knee pad, and
I appreciate that Boba Fett got his target.
he did.
He did.
He did.
He did. He did.
Yeah. He's always joked about like I'm gonna like cast you in carbonite and like have you in my office. That's the running joke.
You're no use to him dead. It's true.
Exactly. Yep.
True. Layers.
Yep.
There's layers.
Layers.
Yep.
Layers.
Yeah.
When he got
As he's
down,
giggling.
when he got down on one knee and proposed and said, "I loved you," did you then say, "I know"?
I know.
Did I? I don't. I may have.
You did. It's the internet. That's what happened.
That's
Yeah. He
usually
said, "I
the
love you."
joke,
I know.
though. After that, that was usually the joke. But you remember when like Robot Chicken had the "Oh, you're a dirty little smuggler"? Yeah, that was a running joke. Yeah, that was. Yeah. Romance.
Now I just have more questions.
And with that,
Yeah.
So good.
Amy.
All right, I wanted to ask you questions because I love the books that you recommended to us.
Stay on topic. Stay on.
No, it's great.
No, it's
So
more of a
I,
guideline, really.
It's not rules. It's more like guidelines.
parlay.
There is no pirate code here.
Do you? Let's see. We can.
There's so many.
There's so much. I pulled so much. But I wanted to see if you could sort of talk to us about what's happening in this one sequence from Dragonlance, art by Ron Randall. I pulled a couple pages in a row that I just thought these layouts were amazing.
Fire and Light. Okay. You want me to hold it
If
for
you
camera?
can hold it, there's like 4 or 5 pages here. And I was just curious because you do the art, and we've always wanted to have you come on and talk about an art.
The art's in the drawing.
How do I look at
Wait,
it?
do you need to see it and then like put it up?
Do you want to? I have it on here, so maybe we can pull it up on mine,
This is what happens when we broadcast live.
and I
Oh,
can
yeah.
look at it,
Okay, so it's
and then you can
Which
show
issue?
them
Which
too.
page?
starting from Crack-a-Doom, which is about
Launch your comicsology, kids. We're going in.
14 or so.
17.
Are these out of order?
Yep.
Wait.
Oh, great, good job, baby.
See how you are?
16,
See?
17. Okay, start on page 15 of Dragonlance. Yeah,
Wait. Okay. Okay.
because apparently I pulled these out of order.
Where am I?
This is how you make sure that you're like, I'm gonna show them to you out of order. You really got to know what's up.
I know, right?
I'm just like flashing back to like a friend of mine that I was talking to at New York Comic Con, going like, comicsology, good for keeping the collection. tight,
Okay,
but you
get me
try to
on
find
the
out one
right page.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we'll do the thing.
Yay!
There we go.
Thank you for indulging this request.
Oh wow, Death Knights.
Complete non
So-
sequitur. Have you ever been to Hector Navarro's place and seen his like comic setup?
People have told me that.
It's a machine.
Wait,
it's a
what?
machine.
What is this?
Like no, Hector's room looks like a comic shop. And there's a system of like what he's read and hasn't read and what he liked and didn't like and what he's giving away and what he's keeping, and it's just an engine of comic processing.
Makes so much
Koi
sense.
does that with movies.
Yeah.
So like that would not say because Koi is similar. I'm sure Koi has Koi's organizational system.
Nice.
Quite a
Okay,
thing.
so
There we are.
I figured I just loved this sequence starting
right.
here.
Yes.
If-
And I will hold.
Why do you love it? You love it for the.
I don't know the amount of story that they pack into these couple of pages.
Because I can tell you why I love it.
Okay.
Why I love Ron Randall. Are we on the same page?
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Okay. What's fantastic? Okay, look at the line of her leg. The line of her leg is aiming down into the next panel. Like
Shit, you're right. Oh,
wonderful storytellers, people who are really, really great at this, are able to construct it in such a way that you're following the words, but then as you're done with the words, you're following the image left to right down the page. So if you look, we're following her leg, and then we're following her open hand, and then we're going to the gentleman with the bowl haircut who's looking.
He looks like Murderface.
Totally. You have him looking at her, right? Her and her arm are looking down here, and so you've guided the viewer's eye because that's what you want to do. You want to show your reader, okay, come along, I'm going to take you by the hand, I'm going to show you where I need you to go. And Ron does this beautifully. Ron is a veteran. Let's see, next page. Oh, next page has a booty on it.
I know that made me laugh a little bit, but the book's really good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
That is high fantasy.
It was the time of high fantasy and tight pants. That was.
You say that like that time is over. Some of us still live in that time.
That sounds like the name of your autobiography.
Yes,
Sure.
yes,
High fantasy and
yes,
tight pants, yeah.
most definitely. So, but again, the same thing. They're using light and shadow here. If you look at the shadows in the back, are guiding you to the next panel. If you look at we're focusing on the well-lit side of his face, and then we're following the line of her body into the word balloon, down, and then he's looking into the next action that he wants you to focus on. So when you're just coming up and just starting making comics, that's the advice that you're given is if an editor is correcting you, often they will say, he's looking the wrong way. We need him to look the other way. And it's all about clarity. So that's what I love about these is they are so traditional in their execution, but they're also super cheeseball. Super cheeseball.
Because that guy's coming through a window going, yeah! And we know some
exactly.
shit's going down.
And you've got the,
Crack-a-doom.
crack-a-doom.
Crack-a-doom
Yeah,
Yeah.
next page
is Crack-a-doom.
is
Crack-a-doom.
Crack-a-Doom.
Same thing, same thing.
That'd be a cool supervillain name. Crack-a-doom.
Crack-a-doom.
Yeah.
So she's been
similar
like
to
sheltering at this
Crack-a-doom.
monastery, and she's got like a weird artifact that she's talking with him about when everything kind of goes down. Okay.
which it's very formulaic. These books are super formulaic. It's find the thing, take the thing with your friends. It's super D&D formulaic, and you can interchange any of the books in this way. For me, it's the art. The art is so cool. You got him with the fire, but then the Crack of Doom takes you everywhere you need to go, and that panel layout is crazy.
That panel layout.
I think this is when I started snapping this, being like, I'm gonna need to ask about this sequence because this like lightning going through the middle of the page there
is really
and
cool.
the way that the lightning is actually breaking the panels up is really intense.
Because if you think about it, when you're drawing comics, you could do talking head, talking head, talking head, talking head, but eventually you've got 25 pages of talking heads, and no one's gonna want to sit there for that long. So you have to find these ingenious ways of like, okay, in the script there's an explosion. That explosion's gonna control everything on my page. And Ron was still is brilliant about that kind of storytelling.
Jesus, this next panel is amazing.
Which one is it?
So after Crack of Doom,
is Crack of Doom 2.
they escape to find
Death Knights.
More Crack of Doom.
Yes.
Death Knights, and then those 3 panels down there where like he's using the weird angle of that panel to make the urgency it's time to run.
Yep.
Is amazing.
Yep.
So just to show the transition here is like Crack of Doom's taking us down through that thing, and then, Death Knights.
Yep.
That tends to be how they arrive, by the way. Death Knights.
Yep. I love that. But my absolute favorite thing about all of this is just, and I hate to put it this way, but it's butts. There's so many butts. There's butts. It is a talent to get butts in every panel.
No, I was noticing there was a lot of butt.
There's booties. I love the boot, and it's magical booties though. It's magical, like, I'm on my tiptoes for no reason.
But like, as someone who's also read a lot of things where like the level of butts in the later on in the 90s got like really out of hand.
This is
sort of like,
out of hand butts.
it's
Right.
This is when butts were
Tasteful booty.
Yeah.
Yes.
You say this is early Power Girl, not later Power Girl.
This is what was going on in the culture at the time, which leads me into, okay.
Oh my God, our Mutt 1917 says Crack of Doom would be their parody cover band.
It's true.
We also do get some equal opportunity, like.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there's some
Rags Morales in this one with the
Rags Morales and the super naked. I'm in my chonies. Look, that's so good.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a lot of that.
This is from the other one that I pulled.
Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, the Forgotten Realms book.
And when he's climbing the rock,
I should have pulled that. I almost did.
with the hand of was Vapric in his skivvies.
I kept expecting to be like slightly wigged out by like the 90s sensibilities, but for some strange reason it's not. There's something about this where I'm like, I don't feel too weird about this. This is nice.
It's so good.
It's just the cover of Forgotten Realms. This is just the other stuff that
This is just warm. This is just warm toastiness.
Yeah.
That says we're introducing the hand of Vapric, and we get this. I just love this shot of like the action and the cute funniness of this character in this.
The
scene
wizard
on
is
the
yelling at him
Yeah.
at the moment.
Wizard was
For
kind of a
stealing.
dick in that
Aren't they
And
though?
then this guy finds the
They tend to
hair.
be. They tend
Yeah.
to be.
And then I love this like
I love
whole
that
party.
bit.
Gather
page.
your party right there. Look at him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the hair. Look at that wicked wizard hair.
Wicked. He is
Real
the
good.
That is
craziest
Elminster, by the
hair.
way. That's Elminster.
Is it really?
That's Elminster. That white wizard is Elminster.
So cool.
Is he really?
In this, it's Elminster, and he looks just like that in these Forgotten Realms books.
I don't think they've revealed that yet where I am.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Womp
No, that's
womp.
really exciting.
Sorry.
It's
Maybe it's not in that book. It's in this book, though.
That's amazing.
the lore is deep.
I have one more.
I mean it,
thing.
Captain. I'm innocent. Whatever I did, I'm innocent. Beautiful.
One that we have not mentioned yet,
Yeah.
which I will pop out there,
Oh, yes.
is Spelljammer.
Spelljammer.
Talk to us about Spelljammers.
Oh, wait, move.
Wait, which, that
There we
way.
go. There we go.
It's like flying a plane.
Yeah.
Well, part of the reason why everybody is so excited about Dragon Heist is the new adventure that WotC's putting out here in about a month. Is there some nods to Spelljammer in it?
Really? Really?
There's some space pirate lithids in Dragonheist.
What is Spelljammer?
What is
I don't
Spelljammer?
know this one.
See, I don't even know this one.
Spelljammer was, again, kind of at the height of like Star Wars and Star Trek being a thing. It's D&D in space, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's still, you sort of are like taking ships that are just kind of capable of leaving the Earth. And a lot of it is kind of interdimensional and a lot of like mind flayers and things like that. But it's space D&D.
If I were going to run like Paul Cornell's Captain Britain and the M13 as like an RPG, it's like. Dracula's got a space boat that the vampires on the moon kind of vibe. Yeah, it's great.
It's more planar than interplanetary, but it's definitely like you've left the Earth though. And
you have old school guys who will be like, oh, it's only Spelljammer, like the Spelljammer comics.
Yeah.
Like no, none of that other stuff. This is all. And I've never really had my hands on them, so
It's got a vibe. It's got a vibe.
100%.
I haven't gone back to read it in a long time, but like
let's see. Can
At
we
the
get those
time, I was
together?
Tess, what more stuff?
Anybody?
Can we 2v2
There we
these?
go.
Wait,
Okay.
There we
So what
go.
are we looking at here?
The same character.
So this is Alias, Elias, and I believe his name is Dragonbait. But this is
That
Unlucky
is
name.
Dragonbait, yep.
super popular series that all the D&D fans know, but also in the comics.
Yep.
Also in the comics, and this was their way of like gateway drug. Gateway drug.
And it worked.
Oh, there we go.
Worked. There
There
it
it
is.
is.
Oh, look
Y'all
at
are
that.
slick.
Yeah, that was
was a
the
good-
one.
that was a
the
great
one
issue.
4-part series that I got to read before tonight, and that was the one where I was like, I'm so mad that I didn't get to read anymore. Why have I never read these?
You know, it's
I really enjoyed the books.
Looking
I
at-
was expecting just to sort of enjoy them for their like historical value, but I was into it.
It was rocky.
Looking at this like a zeitgeist thing, and like you see like certain through lines in pop culture, like because Dragonbait can't talk, right? So I always wonder, even because I'm very familiar with that character, if that was their attempt at almost a Chewbacca person, that always would come through when you needed them, but you always had to be like, Herf Snurf, what do you mean I shouldn't punch the king?
Or like the precursor to Groot.
Yep.
He was like, I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
Yep. Same principle. Same principle.
And
I am Steve Rogers.
Brought a lot more inspiration for us.
I did.
True.
Okay,
You brought
so
things.
the whole thing about these comics is that they are connected. They are connected to the art from the time. They are connected to, there's that faction of us that knew every artist that was on every cover. Elmore was a big one. Larry Elmore was my favorite. I don't know if we can.
Oh
Yeah.
There we go. And
Just beautiful.
He did the Dragonlance covers. He did. There we go. Actually, see if I can crack it open for
They
you.
used a lot of his work in the D&D books too.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
there we
Got
go.
all those.
There we go.
Tasselhoff, my homie.
Oh,
Tasselhoff
He was my favorite
Barefoot.
too.
Oh yeah, Tasselhoff is
Yep.
a G. That's why Tasselhoff
There
Barefoot,
we
the
go.
Kinder.
I had the action figure. Was he one of the Dungeons and Dragons action figures that they put out, if I recall?
They did action figures?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, there was a play set. Remember the serpent with the green the green. Oh.
Dude. And we were having this discussion after Liam's episode of Between the Sheets, because Liam talked about Raceland, and Raceland, he was a Raceland kid, and I was like,
Still a
That makes
Raceland kid.
sense.
Yeah.
Paramount
Really?
was stupid. Oh, Raceland.
Oh.
Okay, you know what? But you know why? Because Raceland is Anakin Skywalker. Raceland is Arthas. Raceland is everybody that's like, I'm gonna do the wrong thing for the right reason. Oh no, I did too much of the wrong thing. And he's incredible.
I could have told you
He's
that.
got hourglasses in his eyes and
Oh
gold
my God.
skin. And when he kills Bumbo,
were you a Raceland kid too?
No.
you are. Do not lie to me, Taliesin Jaffe. If anyone is a
Had high school
Raceland
friend
kid.
whose AIM handle was like creatively spelled Raceland.
Well,
Yep.
aside for the people that don't know, it's because they're Caramon and Raceland are Dragonlance, right? Yeah. So they're twins, and one of them is a warrior, and one of them is a wizard. And I won't tell you how it ends because it doesn't necessarily end like you think. But Raceland very much is Arthas, where he's like, I need to do the right thing, so I'm going to study necromancy because it's dark magic, but I can kill the people that really need killing. And of course, sort of loses himself in the
That
process.
ends well 100% of the time.
100% of the time. No negative repercussions.
I was the Tasselhoff kid.
I mean, because Tasselhoff's
Okay.
great.
Tasselhoff.
That's Tasselhoff Barefoot was the only Kender.
Is
the only Kender. the one and only. There were no other ones. It was just him.
Right.
And I'm telling you, you can judge a person if you ask somebody who was your favorite, and don't trust anybody that says Kitiara. Ever.
I actually know someone named Kitiara. Their father named them after that character.
See, that's just unkind.
We are going to some.
So do me a huge favor and
translate?
pretend I don't know anything that you just said.
For those of you who don't
Pretend.
know.
Pretend.
Dragonlance.
No, I mean,
Because clearly I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right, sure. But for the people that don't.
Yeah, but for those who don't.
Right.
Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman they single-handedly converted like a generation of nerds,
100%.
fantasy nerds. They did what the original Dragonlance books. It was a trilogy, and I got them in 3rd grade. Somebody's mom gave them to me, and I just it's basically Lord of the Rings easy mode.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
it is the gateway drug, and it's the thing that when you're in need of that type of material, it's that thing that it first fills the void for my generation.
And if I could just insert one
mine
thing, that group was Dragonlance. Caramon, Raceland, Tasselhoff, Kitiara, them, and Dritz, Duerden, Catti-brie, and all of them. They were the Forgotten Realms group, and it was a very much trying to hit that Lord of the Rings note in 2 different places.
Forgotten Realms has a slightly more modern, worldly feel to it. I feel like if I had to classify the essence of them, Dragonlance feels like a world slightly removed from Lord of the Rings, and Forgotten Realms feel
fantasy,
like 100 years later, where we're seeing a bigger world.
And also, over time, Forgotten Realms also definitely became the default D&D
Yes.
world.
Yes.
Whereas in the past, there was with that player's handbook, I don't know where it went, there very much was a vanilla Dungeons and Dragons world where you just go do things. But over time, that definitely very much synchronized with Forgotten Realms. That this is sort of the default, unless you're consciously doing something else.
It kind of went from you're in a city to it's Waterdeep.
Yeah.
The city you're in is Waterdeep.
Exactly, because there was Greyhawk and Darksign and all that stuff, and it's sort of we're here.
And Dragonlance is how I learned about the notion of good and evil dragon. I had the board game.
Yeah.
As a kid, I hadn't read the books yet, and I got the board game. I was like, this is a thing. Holy shit!
Was it just a week ago, Margaret Weiss replied to me on Twitter because she was talking about the fact that there was some other guy that was basically claiming he was an inspiration for one of the characters. And she was like, nah, me and Tracy just did this. And I retweeted that, and somebody commented on my thread about, I heard this. And she was like, no, really? Man, we just did this. And I was like, hey, great. Hey,
honestly, she made a comment on Facebook at one point about something Critical Role related, and I lost my mind. I was like, what's happening? And I actually sent it to other cast members, and I was like, have you seen this? Yeah.
Well, it's wild how small this world is. It's the same thing. I've got to meet Larry Dixon and talking Mercedes Lackey and stuff, and you lose track of the fact that these are human beings that like stuff too. And you're like, wait, she can see me. Don't move.
This is the one realm. This is the one realm.
Yeah.
I have met gods of comics, and I've kept my cool.
Yep.
But with this, I can't. No, don't put me in the same room because I'll lose it. I will shame myself.
This is me at New York Comic Con at Chris Claremont's table.
I mean, it was so adorable, though. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I
got
loved
to
it.
see your shame. It was amazing.
I somehow magically caught him without a line, bought a thing, he customized it, and I was mumbling out my compliments, and he literally said the words, well, if you have any questions, now's your chance.
And
I went dry.
And I watched Amy just go, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He broke you.
As much as I love Chris Claremont, I would be like, what the hell was up with that Willow sequel with you and George Lucas, Chris Claremont?
Hey, really?
Yeah, I said it. I said it.
We're gonna
at me, Chris Claremont.
Wait,
what the hell was up with the Willow sequel, man?
What was the Willow sequel? Was
Nick,
it a-
Chris Claremont and George Lucas wrote a sequel to Willow, and it's awful.
But wait, was it?
It's a novel.
Shut your mouth.
It's a novel.
Shut your mouth.
Talk to us.
Wait, no. Okay. Oh. I don't. There's not enough time in the show. Wait.
Because you could talk forever and it'll still be bad. Yeah, I said it.
why don't you love me?
Wow, you guys, we were gonna do a wedding special, and now we're
true.
breaking up.
Wait,
Okay, first of all, they had the most beautiful covers. Okay, they were like they would call to you in the bookstore, and I didn't understand that.
Word
Touch
is-
me and I'll kill you.
this-
Wait, listen. Okay, so they were beautiful and gorgeous, and then coming to them like, oh my God, comics and Star Wars, they met in the middle, and they're characters I know. Am I red face?
Which
I can't
it
feel
should
it.
have worked, you didn't. Yeah.
And then.
Because word is you can't judge a book by its cover.
I swear. Okay, so then it's all the characters you love, right? And you're like, oh my God, they're all in here. And then they're not. Page one, you get, it's Willow and Allura. And everybody else, they're gone.
Matt Mardigan
Matt
gets
Mardigan?
killed at the beginning.
What?
Like, this isn't a
No,
spoiler because it's like the
I
first
haven't read it.
5
But
pages.
I'm on right now, I'm with you. Right now, I'm with you.
Okay, I mean, think about this. Think about how deeply betrayed you have to feel to be like Chris Claremont and George Lucas doing Willow. You're like, yes.
You
No.
killed Matt Mardigan? What?
Dead.
No.
Not even on the page, like
Yeah.
he's dead, just gone. Everybody.
At the beginning.
everybody
Dies
left?
off screen?
He does have screen.
Gone.
Still have screen. Now, I do know. Well, no, finish your rant. Please finish your
Because it's
rant.
about Allura. It's about Allura. She's become like a brat, right? And then Willow's like, wow, like
You're kind of a brat.
yeah, like I thought you were
lot went
everything
into
was
this.
okay. I thought everything was okay, and he's like, okay, well now I gotta fix you because you're like,
It's your kids, Willow. Something's got to be done about your kids.
dude, really, really. And it's the best. It's the best. They bring in so many side characters, and.
This is
I got no
amazing.
reason to lie to you, Internet. I got no reason to lie to you.
I am
So
gonna.
good.
Awful.
I got my the final thing that I did at New York Comic Con before they kicked us off the floor was go like find his table again and ask him some goddamn questions because I was
Good.
so angry.
My favorite, at walking away from the table, you're like reading a little card, and he's like, he just knew I was a Kitty. Like, do I just look like a Kitty Pride fan? And we're like, yeah.
No, you do sort
I mean,
of, but
I
this
think
was
he
stay
can
on
peg
brand
them
though.
now from
Yeah.
a mile away.
It was so he has these cards where it's like you could it was like if you didn't bring something to sign like and this is a great move he was like here's a little card with like a sort of a cute like Wolverine thing and it was like you'll personalize it for like and I was just like yes please and what he did was fill in this other dialogue and my favorite thing about it is that the card the basic card had like some things that clearly are Wolvie talking and like the claws and like that's great Wolverine is great. But like when I walked away and I was looking at it or watching him fill it out while trying not to like have my soul leave my body.
was amazing.
It was like the rest of the dialogue that he filled in around that was Storm and Kitty. And so they're the like yeah. And B,
Breathe,
it made me laugh a lot because I was like, getting you with Wolverine and then secretly making it about Storm and Kitty is the most Chris Claremont possible thing you could do.
That is
and
true.
it's like the reason that he's responsible for all of us becoming giant nerds is that it's like, yeah, claws are great. But also, this is about Storm and Kitty.
Are you? Do you want to tell your Chris Claremont editorial story? Is there any reason this character can't be female? That thing? Aren't you the one that told me this story?
Yeah, it's. It's you can find it online. It's one of my favorite things ever. I didn't bring this up specifically. I did not mean to derail this into Claremont.
No.
But like,
It all comes back
I
to
found an
Claremont.
ancient interview, and this was my favorite because nobody else praising someone can ever make as strong an impression as finding an ancient document where someone is getting made fun of, where you're like, oh, they're not doing this to make him look good. They're joking around. Other people, his collaborators at the time, are in this interview, and like it's essentially someone's asking them about working with Claremont, and they're making fun of his go-to tics. And they literally say, and of course, every time you're making a new character, and they simultaneously go, he goes, is there any reason this character can't be female? And it's like, nobody leading with that would ever be as strong evidence as somebody in the late 70s, early 80s making fun of how that's what he always says.
Yeah.
And so when I finally went back to him and asked questions, I tried to just very I'm sorry, I'm saying all this on the internet, but I was just like, I remember reading that you might have faced some pushback about putting so many women in the book, and he talked about sort of his reasons for wanting to do it, and he was like, and I always just said like, is there any reason this character can't be female? And I was like, he said it. He said the thing.
He actually said the thing. He actually said the saying.
Yep.
Like getting
Sorry,
Queen
this was like a me memory from con, but now it's a show thing.
So it's like getting Queen Victoria to say we are not amused.
We're not amused. Literally, I was like, that's your we're not amused.
We are
moment.
not amused.
There it was. You got it. You got it out of him. You got it out of him.
And yeah, so anyway, con is great. I don't remember why I started telling that story.
Comic-Con
because-
changes lives.
But it was Margaret Weiss, and like that they're real humans, but they're also people who like made us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good job with that.
And like things, yeah. Yeah, because I have a friend of mine who wrote, Buzz Dixon, who wrote on He-Man and G.I. Joe and did some of the comics and the shows. And right when the first meaningful conversation I had with him, I was like, you do know you basically raised me. Like, you sort of did this.
Yeah.
It's
Speaking of
impressive.
things
So
that made you, what
thanks.
else did you bring, by the way?
Yes.
I mean, like, there's also a very, right below that is a very.
Run through
segue.
these really, really quick. This was.
I'm so excited because I am.
It's so good.
This was. I have been recollecting.
Oh.
And while we're here, I'll put the other one up.
I was a huge He-Man and She-Ra fan. Growing
Yep.
up.
I was.
Yep.
These tiny comics, okay, used to come with the action figures.
Oh,
I remember.
And this was my everything.
Hordak was my jam.
This was my
Oh,
everything.
Hordak.
Hordak.
I was Hordak for Halloween once.
I appreciate you're like, I was Hordak for Halloween, and it was like 2 years ago, though. Like, this
You had the
was.
glow-in-the-dark mask? I had the glow-in-the-dark
I
mask.
had to say, this wasn't
Here's
like
the
a
other one. Here's the other one. But when we're talking about
Oh.
fantasy of the 80s,
Oh, man.
It's
You know,
impossible to not talk He-Man and She-Ra.
beautiful, amazing art. These
Just
are.
I'm really looking forward to the reboot, by the way.
I took a picture with
everything
the
I
statue
hear-
at New York Comic Con. It was so more beautiful than it looks in those pictures. It's so good. I'm so excited.
Thank you, Noelle,
got all
for
of that.
bringing back my childhood and making it even
I am-
better.
Yes.
I am so in love with this reboot. I'm just
Have
like
you seen any of it?
the trailer. The trailer when it came out.
There's a trailer?
soft.
I haven't seen it.
Actually, I haven't seen the trailer. I've only seen the stills. I've only
Soft.
seen of her like a little girl.
I've only seen
Soft.
the poster at Comic-Con.
Yeah, I've only
It
seen the
is
stills.
When
the-
we took
I
your
love
picture.
Glimmer.
Glimmer.
It
Yep.
is the Princesses of Power.
Oh, I'm.
Oh, there's more than one?
It's all of them.
Oh.
They brought back everybody. It's
Prince Adam one of the
Mermista,
princesses?
It's Mermista. It's Perfuma. It's like they're all in there. Everybody's in there. And it's gorgeous. I sat on the couch and was just like, oh my god, it's so
I'm
good.
hoping to have my dream of just like dying as a frog at some point.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't care. Oh, I had every action figure.
I'm with you, brother. I was there too.
And-
It all landed on me, just like you.
Oh,
And
man.
one more. I won't open this
Can't wait.
because
Because
TV.
Terms of service.
it's terms of service.
There we go.
Yep.
So when we're talking about these comics, we're talking about a legacy of art, things that were so big at the time.
Yeah.
And
Back.
This
Yeah.
this was
Those
mighty bat.
those outfits are what I would describe as impractical for battle.
yes, but
Yeah.
so beautiful.
But fantasy's
so
the
gorgeous.
only part of the world where people would be like, well, everyone in loincloths.
And
Rest of the time
anatomically
it's like
correct.
tuxedos versus bikinis.
Fantasy
In fantasy,
bikinis,
they're just
yeah.
like, nah, everybody.
Yeah, bikinis and bikinis.
Anatomically correct. There's one more.
Oh,
My last
Frank.
one.
Yep.
Yes.
My personal favorites,
Oh,
Yep.
Frank.
where everybody was gorgeous. Everybody was beautiful. So this is, you want to talk about my origin story, this is my origin story, and this is like
I
where
discovered
it
Frank in
started.
Heavy Metal magazine. For like Frank's stuff in Heavy Metal really like I was like this.
Heavy
is-
Metal was the first publication. That was my first publication.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
your
Really?
first credit.
That does
Hey.
not surprise me.
That was
the more I
my
think
very,
about
very
it.
first credit. I worked the booth at Comic-Con back when Kevin Eastman was running the magazine.
Holy shit.
I got my start on the heavy metal message boards. That was my community. We were all artists, we were all together, and I was talking about Ninja Turtles, because at the time, there was somebody, Ninja Turtles are too violent, and I was like, oh, let me educate you.
Yeah, know what's up.
Yeah, so Kevin, I didn't know he was on the boards at the time. He jumped in and was like, oh, this is really cool. This is like why we do what we do. And then he talked to all of us. So at one point he was just like, you've never been to San Diego Comic-Con? I was like, what's that? So he goes, you know what, you come down, you come work the booth. We need a couple helping hands. And I came down and just, it was heaven. And I never looked back. Like everything I have ever done is because of Kevin Eastman.
Again, Act 1 callback. Like I'm telling you guys, just do things and meet people and
Yes.
don't hide what you love.
yes.
Yes.
This world is very small. You never know who you will meet or what connections you will make. Trust me on this. Yeah.
Are we talking about how to break in, how to make, really?
I mean, that's my thing because I mean, we're all obviously very blessed and lucky to do the things that we do and to be in a place now that, again, I'm affecting the lore of Vampire the Masquerade. I'm affecting the lore of Dungeons and Dragons. I get to do things that we've been dreaming about since we were little kids.
Bring your base, killing your dudes.
And I know, yes, all your base are in fact belong to us. We're sharding your purples, yes. And people want to know how because everybody loves these things as much as we do.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, just do things and keep honing your craft and keep showing up and keep being cool because we all know each other. And if you're not cool, everyone finds out.
It's embarrassing how quickly. But
I'm gonna add on to that. If we're talking about comics and we're talking about just art making in general, I'm gonna give you the talk. Am I looking in the right camera? I feel like I'm.
You know, the camera will follow you. Camera
Okay,
one,
cool,
camera
cool,
two. That's another excellent color.
Callback, yeah.
The thing that I pass on at shows is, as much as I love this comic book industry and I love all of this in essence does not actually, you don't need permission. You don't need our permission. You don't need their permission. If you have something to say, your voice is your currency. Get it down on paper. Get it out. If you are on social media, you have a platform. We want to see your comics. We want to hear your music. And that's what I love about the Critical Role fandom. And that's why I live there in my free time, is because it's about love, it's about support, it's about, wow, that thing is really cool.
That's cool.
Can I see more of that? And we all take care of each other. That's how the heavy metal boards were back in the day. That's what birthed me. And we've birthed so many new creators with this fandom.
it's delightful to watch.
And honestly, I'm gonna sidetrack for a second. The reason I love Critical Role is because you guys are all like that. And that's how you interact with your fans. You are so willing to show that love on screen to each other that, you know, me and all the other baby critters and older critters, we feel like
Enough for both. Oh god.
Yeah, there's generations now.
Critters now.
There's generations. That's true.
we feel like we're a part of the family. And that is very much because of you guys. And I've heard you guys talk to fans. The best thing in the world to me is when, because I deal with critters, they're my family, and then they haven't met you yet, and then they meet you guys, and they die because you're really exactly who you are on screen in real life.
Yeah.
And that,
true.
That to me is the future of comics, of nerddom, is that, you know, Jesus-y, saviory, long-haired Matthew Mercer and his crew. Like, honestly,
Oh, make sure
I've
he
told
never
him-
hears that. Oh boy.
I'm gonna snip that myself and tag him.
Lord.
You know
I've
what?
told him that to
Snip
his
it,
face.
tag him. Do it, please,
I've told him
internet.
that to his face. But that's what he means to everybody. That's what you guys mean to everybody, and that's you guys have influenced so many of us. I mean, I'm sitting here talking about I'm doing a D&D comic. You know, I decided to go for. This is it. This is what I love. And when the call came, I was like, yes. Mercer says yes. They say yes. I'm gonna say yes too. Screw it. Fuck it. Let's do it. And honestly, when it came time for, you know, who's gonna write this thing, he's a yes man too. He's so all about the passion, right? And it's this nest of love. It's this nest of love. That's okay. So that's my.
No, it's
like
Make the thing.
Make the things. Make the things.
Change lives. Make the thing.
Anytime I've had interactions with fans at like Gen Con and at New York Comic Con, I had a couple of fans talking about like, yeah, you know, like college age kids who are like studying stuff. That's
You know, like you do. With
Like the kids do.
the books.
They go first.
The things and the stuff. Yeah.
But like the thing that I always go back to is, are you studying what you want to do, or are you studying what you feel like you're supposed to?
Yep.
Like there was one girl who, and I'm not going to say names or anything, but her family is in like computers and in IT and stuff like that, and she's like, yeah, so I'm studying that, and I was like, and I got this sense from her that that's not what she wanted to do when she was talking to me about that, and I was like, is that what you want to do? And she goes, well, you know, I've been watching a lot of Critical Role, and I feel like I want to be in production. Like I want to be backstage, and like I want to learn all of that. And I was like, then why aren't you doing that? And she's like,
that.
you know, like I I don't really have access to that. And I was like, sure you do. Move to New York or to LA. It's tough, but do that.
Yeah.
You know, or if you want to be on camera, start doing that. You know, but what is your joy? Like,
You gave her the follow your bliss talk.
without meaning to do that, that's exactly what I did. And I said, like, my joy is comics, my joy is writing, my joy is being stupid and silly and funny and making up stories and playing with my friends, and that's what I do every day. And the fact that, like, yes, it took me 10 years to get to a place where I'm now like creative director at Geek and Sundry, and it took me 10 years to get to a place where I have a show on the internet where I talk about comics with some of my closest, bestest, most wonderful friends in the entire world. Yes, it takes time, but keep doing it. Keep it your practice, because like at the end of the day, if you fall flat on your face, holy fucking God, you fell flat on your face doing something you love, and you'll pick yourself back up and keep doing that. But if you fall on your face working in computers and that's not what you ever wanted to do, that's off. Like,
And
I don't want that life at all.
Yeah, you're always going to wonder what if. It's like I just gave somebody this same speech yesterday. It's like I've been playing these games almost 30 years. I've been writing seriously for 20. I've been in LA for 15. I've been a fixture on the internet for 10.
Yup.
And just now is it all really paying off. And but I do want to add one thing to that though. Like, you know, you do what you got to do to survive. If you got to have a day job, have a day job. That's cool.
I love a day job.
That's just corporate sponsorship.
Yep.
There's 168 hours in a week.
Yep.
You got the time to do whatever you want to do. And something Elon Musk says that I completely agree with is if you find the thing you love and find the thing you're good at, find where those intersect. Like, I can't draw, but I can write. I make pictures with words, right? I talk good. You know, find somebody that you can get down with. Because again, all of this is happening because I did Electropunk, the webcomic, with a friend of mine that our kids are in school together. And just meeting people and talking, and it's like, well, I got this idea and I got this idea. Well, yeah, let's make a thing. And then the thing exists and someone sees the thing and the doors open, doors open. But go through them. Because a lot of people like hesitate and like, oh, I don't know. What if it doesn't work? If it doesn't work, you do something else and just have a good time and enjoy the process. And then you look up and you're here with internet sensation Amy Dallen. And internet sensation Amy Dallen is an absolute good.
Still holding on to the day job.
Yeah. I mean, but there's no shame in
You
that.
said something about regrets, and that reminds me. I read a poem in college by John Greenleaf Whittier called Maud Muller. Not the best name. But one of the lines in the poem is, of all things written, tongue or pen, the saddest of these, it might have been. And that is why I moved from Oklahoma and moved out here, because I was offered a bank management job out of college. Like, they were like, do you want to be assistant manager at this branch and make exceptional money for a college grad? And I was like, no, I don't want that life. I'm going to go be poor in California for about 12 to 15 years.
And we were pretty happy being relatively unsuccessful and
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, like, that was still a pretty happy. I mean, like, even before shit was
And
going
No
good.
one has been like there will be barriers, and none of this is easy. But but it is absolutely true. Like, there's a reason that the people that you respect will end up repeating lines like "just make the thing," because that really is the path.
Yep.
And like, you know, also more power to you. If this stuff, like, if playing games is a hobby and you love having it as a hobby and part of your life, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But if part of you thinks that, like, maybe what you really want to do is something else, like, let it be a possibility.
It's the thing. It's the so sorry. I'm gonna make this fast. The thing that makes you the way to tell the difference is if you are content working that 9 to 5 and your passion is satisfied by, you know, the hobby on the side. Awesome. More power to you.
Be that and do that.
But
We need that.
yeah, but if the thing makes you sick and you need it so badly that you can't sleep and it haunts you and it's the ghost that lives in your room, that's your spirit telling you time to go.
Yep.
Time to make it happen.
Yep.
Like, and that's when you fight for it. That's when you follow your bliss. That's when you do not stop.
Like, I can't do anything but write. Like, I can do this is fun, and I'll do this for the rest of my life, and I love it. But I've noticed that the times of my life when, like, the depression hits me the hardest is in those spans of time when I haven't been writing. And it's like, that's when, like I have to write to keep the depression out. That's why I wake up at 6 in the morning to write for 2 hours before my work hours start.
That's the calling.
I have to do that. And if no one ever sees anything I write ever in my life, if I never get a movie made or a comic written or whatever, or produced, who cares? I wrote it, and that's what I needed that for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's funny because I was about to give a quote from like my all-time personal hero, Marcus Aurelius, which the quote
Everything about you makes so much more sense now.
I'm paraphrasing, but basically he's saying, if anyone can do a thing, you have to assume that you can. But just because you can't do something, don't assume that no one can. So if we're here living this life and doing these things, we're proving to you and telling you overtly you can do these things. And to your point about the fact that you get up and you write for you, the Meditations, his book, was never meant to be published. It was just for him. It was basically his diary that he wrote in every day. And monologue done.
Oh, I was going to say it is one of those things that you can go forward with, and you know, you're still going to be happy, you're still going to be sad, you're still going to have the negatives and the positives, and it's still going to be work and effort, but.
Your path won't be anybody else's path.
No, and paths are their own, but the quality of the ramen has significantly improved. I will say.
It's a much better,
We
thicker
can eat
noodles.
ramen at restaurants.
I know, it's like
noodles.
proper ramen.
And to close this
close out
down
before
on
we
my
bring us-
side, it doesn't matter your age.
Yep.
At all.
You can be 10 and doing this, and you can be 80 and publish your first book.
You're still alive this time.
Like, you're still alive. If you're good at it, if you're a writer and you write every day, you can still be published.
I mean, I'm
It
40.
doesn't matter how old you are.
I'm just about to get my first comic, and I'm 40.
I've been 40 for a week, and
Sure.
I still.
But you look marvelous.
Thank you, sir.
I think with that, I think it's time to push
do the
into-
topic.
To
do the thing.
topic. I
To
think
do our
it's time
topic.
To do the 5
do our
minute topic.
topic.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ready. Do the thing. Make things.
All right, let's see. We got off.
we got
and
one.
I haven't looked at the topic. All right. Winning topic.
Welcome to the Wednesday Club. Every week we do a 5-minute topic suggested by the chat. Today we are joined by two incredible guests. B.J. Walters and Tess Fowler are here. They've just made a very exciting announcement, and we are going to answer some kind of nonsense.
Which way are we going? We're going from my end to that end, or that end to this end?
It's however whoever's got the idea first, and since we only have 5 minutes, it's going to be.
Got it.
We're going to try
Okay,
and keep it
so
to like
this
a minute apiece.
this is a lot, I fear. Is it the saga one, Liz?
My body's ready.
Okay. Half a Ring Circus says, topic, I've been trying to figure out a way to RPGize Saga, the comic book, for years. What system would you pick to map Saga onto, and what type of character would you want to play first?
What?
Oh.
So this thing that Half a Ring Circus has been trying to do for years, she wants us to do, or they want us to do in 5 minutes. So
5 minutes on the clock.
5 minutes.
What
on
system
the-
would you build for Saga?
What?
I mean,
Okay. Oh
start
God.
simply-
Wait,
Half
tell
a
me
Ring-
about Spelljammer, because there's magic in space.
Well, Spelljammer was just D&D.
Just
so
D&D, it was straight D&D.
It's
Well,
fifth
great.
edition. I do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of Saga. I'm casually familiar with it. But to your point, 5e would work because it is just D&D in space.
But there's, I mean, like I'm
Yeah,
pushing
but-
some Shadowrun maybe.
The cipher system is nice.
I know.
The cipher system.
See, I don't know systems, so I can't speak to that.
I only know D&D.
Yeah.
That's it. I only know D&D.
Like my
purist.
my,
But
my,
I can talk about Saga.
my initial my.
Well, is there any character that obviously calls out to be a certain class of D&D to you?
I know it's such a rough. This is such a rough call.
That's so hard.
The
I
journalists
mean,
might
I
be
would
rogues.
want
I don't know.
to. I would be a Mooney because I'm a magic user. So
Yeah.
like, that's the first character that I would want to play.
I mean,
would
your,
be.
your cockatoo hair kicked in, so you're very excited
Yeah.
about this. Right.
This is
Excitement hair.
this is stressed out thinking here.
Right.
But their spells have verbal components, so that maps on as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah, like that. I wouldn't want to be like a robot kingdom. I wouldn't want to be landfall. Like I would be a Mooney, absolutely. My lovely wife Brittany would play as Gus. I don't know what like.
That's Chris. That's Chris. Totally. That's his favorite.
We saw a Gus cosplayer. It was very impressive.
Eberron would lend itself very well to this.
Ooh, Eberron's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
That
there's
is not a
Okay,
bad idea.
War
explain
Forge.
that. We have 3 minutes. Explain that.
Eberron is a quasi-steampunk-ish D&D setting. I mean, I'm not doing it
It gives
proper.
you a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's there's not the magic isn't so high, but it's wide. So there's things like a magical like monorail system and things like that.
You're in the right direction there. And
Yeah.
also you would have those like bardic powers that you could kind of give to like creating some of like the weird like actors and the
Yep.
fact that they have the the massive. I would want to be like maybe like a bard class that's one of the like the regular actors on the TV show.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's also the bounty hunters, the like the will and the stalk.
Like I said, I want spider legs. That's
Spider
all
legs?
I want. I want spider legs.
So you could be a bounty hunter.
That would be me. Yes.
Just anything that can cast polymorph self, basically.
That's all I know.
I mean, you'd have to
Spider legs.
custom. Honestly, I think you have to customize the system from scratch for this. I think it's that deep. I think it's that deep of a lore. That's such a.
Yeah, I
such
think
an
you
intense
could
build.
certainly borrow from other systems
So-
to see what's worked.
So it would be a series of component racial abilities that would exist for the different planets.
Like species stuff.
Species stuff, like straight up, and then it would be a series of affected professions like the bounty hunters.
Bounty hunters.
Now,
the
here's
actors.
if I were building a system for Saga, because it'd be fun to just run around and have adventures in Saga, but if I wanted to really replicate the sort of like pull your heart out, like unstoppable march of time quality that Saga has, you would build one of the sort of modern generation of narrative games where like like not like Fiasco in terms of it's one evening where things go, but like in the way that Fiasco is broken down into like here's a series of scenes and then at the end they go well or badly and you sort of figure out like you're forced to put and then that's what happens. So Saga would have these sort of age jumps and it'd be like here's what's going to happen and then at the end of this based on those events you'll find like you will determine what happened in this phase of life and like there's no going back.
And then that's where you get your level up, and instead of leveling up, it's like you do a 3 year later jump, and then all of the new skills
And then
you get
you
in your
cry.
level is
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
3
then
year
you
level.
cry.
And then you cry.
You just weep.
Tell us about Hillfolk.
My dear friend Ash Minnick, friend of the show, who's actually in the building right now, is a super aficionado of Hillfolk. Again, it is
And
very
her husband Joseph, yeah.
Yes, very storytelling driven, very much about what are the relationships between us, and that's what drives the conflict. That's what
And
drives
it's,
us. And
it's meant
not
to be
punchy at all.
somewhat modular,
Yes.
so that like you can have like stuff that happens in like 12th century hills, but you
Yes.
can also have stuff that happens in the dreamscape. And it's
Absolutely,
like-
because it is very much about the dynamics between the individuals more than the world
And
around them.
That's
so it's
really
very
more,
adaptable.
That's more of what would make a Saga game work. Is it's less. I mean, everything else is flash and filigree, but like really, it's just that generational vibe of things moving.
All right, so we've got 30 seconds left.
I'm feeling good about Hillfolk.
Yeah, you
Hillfolk
finish
is
this up,
good.
man. Hillfolk, go for it. Ash Minnick, that was for you, Hillfolk. Go for it.
I said spider
You
legs.
said spider legs. So
Spider
you could be
legs.
a bounty hunter. What would you be like? You don't have an encyclopedia.
I'm with you, Mooney.
Moonies. So you and I are Moonies.
I'll have wings just because no one has wings yet. I'll be one
Okay,
of the
so
wings.
you're a Landfallian.
So you're drinking
Okay.
Red Bull, got it?
I'm into it. Oh, and I'm on the circuit without a doubt. I think I'd be the
Oh, that's
only
right, you're
robot
on the circuit.
I'd be the only robot. On the circuit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
To post
right.
Prince on the circuit.
But look
All
up
right.
Hillfolk if you don't know it.
I would also or goose, landfall or goose.
Goose.
I don't know.
Yes, fair. Goose.
And we are.
Thank you for that wonderful question.
Yeah, that was an
Dr.
amazing
Service.
question. Thank you. And this has been our 5-minute topic from the Wednesday Club. You can watch the Wednesday Club every Wednesday, clever name, at 7 p.m. on the Geek and Sundry Twitch or on VOD whenever you want on ProjectAlpha.com.
That's Matt Key. I'm Amy Dallen. This is Taliesin Jaffe, and our very special guests are
B. Dave Walters.
And Tess Fowler.
Thank you for joining us.
All right, well, we've got
Yay.
12 minutes left. So
That's cool.
also because just to get this out there, because we were in such a rush last week getting ready for New York
man.
and running off that I don't know if we ever actually stopped and said, "Happy friggin' birthday,
Happy
Anthony!"
birthday.
Thank you. That's so nice
Oh,
of
it's
you.
no problem. And we like
40 now.
You're 40.
All the cool kids
You
are.
leveled up.
I
So-
leveled up.
Normally,
What are the level 40 abilities?
yeah.
I don't. You know
on
what?
spot.
It's really
Random
strange
pains.
because like what's that?
Leggings.
Random pains.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
random
level
pink.
40
I've got
ability.
cool leggings.
Yeah.
Well, that's no, these are jeans.
an
I'm just
joke.
kidding. That's an inside joke
Yeah.
from Burning Man.
they are
Thank
good
you.
socks.
They're not
I thought you
the.
were showing
they're
off
not
the
the.
socks. I
Yeah,
legit
no,
did.
no. That's a Burning Man. The leggings is a Burning Man joke. We'll feel you.
Okay.
But no, I had like an exceptional existential crisis the night like before my birthday, like where I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, or like one day, oh God, Brittany's gonna die. What if I die? No, like, and like those are thoughts that like we all like just have, and we're like, no, get out.
Ether.
And like, you know, when you have depression, that's where the thoughts kind of like sit, and you have to like force yourself to push it out. But like, and typically I can do that. Like, just like, no, I'm just gonna whistle and I'm gonna pretend that thought's not there and do.
Yeah.
But like this one night, I went to sleep with those thoughts and was like, oh, like.
Yeah.
But when I woke up, I was like, I'm 40. Fuck it. Like it's fine.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, haven't died yet.
It's real weird. It's like
Yeah, but
that's
did
my power. Like I had to like push through. Like I'm
Hey,
fine.
Doctor Strange died 14 million times.
So normally, how we would traditionally celebrate Matt Key's birthday is with cake and a birthday cow, for reasons that you can go back and look. Sadly, because
Go
of
back and watch that
sadly
next
because of reasons that we couldn't quite put together cake and a birthday cow, but we did get fancy marshmallows.
And where are these fancy marshmallows from,
From,
Taliesin Jaffe?
from Magnolia Boulevard, where all good things come from.
Magnolia is
And
fantastic.
I believe the birthday cow sent you a message. I think can we pull out? I think let's
What?
see. The birthday cow sent a message for you.
All hail the birthday cow.
All hail the birthday cow. Well, this is actually what is this letter? Oh, well, this is not for the birth. This is actually something else that happened first. If you want to read that.
Oh God, I'm gonna like weep, aren't I?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's a long letter.
It's a long letter. We don't have to read the whole thing, but you can read the top
It
of
is.
it. Oh,
It's already starting.
Do you want to
To
read
the
it?
wonderful Matt Key. Do you want to read this?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I can.
Okay.
For your birthday, the wonderfully generous Daisies decided to support the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI is the founder of the Cure Stigma campaign and promotes education, compassion, and empathy about mental health. So many of the Daisies are inspired by your light and your openness, and we're really excited to have this chance to pay it forward. The Daisies raised an amazing $1,530 in honor of your birthday, and the wonderful community you have helped build. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great birthday. Much love, Olivia, aka Meaning of Night. And then it's got everyone listed here. They all have notes.
And
Oh
those are
God.
messages for you.
Oh
Yeah.
God. They mentioned Dormammu. Oh, PFW Scott. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. That's a lot. I'll read them and I'll thank you.
So and then Amy and I talked to the birthday cow, and we made sure that the birthday cow was here for you on your birthday.
Oh my God.
This is going to get funnier the more you think about it when you finally see it. Flip it
Oh my
over.
God.
Take a second. Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
No way!
This is mostly Tal gets the credit here.
I mean, like we.
No! Oh my God! So this is Erica Henderson, Drew, Brittany. Is that Brittany a squirrel girl, or is that squirrel girl just giving Doctor Strange?
Well, it's Squirrel
And
Girl.
she's dressed as a cow.
Squirrel Girl is dressed as a birthday cow, and it's Doctor Strange's birthday. So
Layers.
there's layers.
Interpret how you will.
So
It's like
the
art,
thing that will
man.
make your life a little funnier, I think, is when you realize that it's possible Erica Mendes knew exactly who you were when you went up and talked to her at that point of the convention.
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna let you like meditate upon that fact
my
that she knew so much about you by the time you walked over.
And then had to pretend that she didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we've been listening to you talk about New York Comic Con now for a couple days and been like, oh boy.
Did you guess? Because when you
No.
came over and told us about
No.
meeting her, and I was like, it's fine.
Oh yeah,
That
who's
was-
Erica
she
Mendes?
seems nice.
Oh yeah, that Erica
Henderson,
Mendes. Yeah, Henderson.
No,
What?
and
I don't.
what's funny is that when I went to her, I wanted to like, and now I don't know if I should say like screw it.
No, but no. I mean,
Like I was gonna ask her to for Christmas. I was trying to find out what her prices were because I wanted to surprise you guys with drawings of you,
that's so funny.
and I was gonna do the same thing for
We're gonna
Brittany.
give to the Magi each other,
That's
like,
true.
but in an awesome way.
And now like I don't feel like I can do it. Now I have to think of something else. Oh my God, this
Like
is
those proposal
amazing.
videos.
Did you
where like
guys
they both
get
produced a ring?
Oh my
Sure.
God.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I was so happy with it.
Oh my God.
She's incredibly talented.
Amazing.
And it's beautiful and perfect.
It's an.
And I love that Doctor Strange is floating.
Yeah.
Did she do that at the convention? this
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I know we are very short on time, and I want to keep lavishing affection on you, Matt Key, but I have to
Oh
ask
my
an
God,
important
stop.
question while I can, because this is all relevant. How did you, Taliesin Jaffe, get into the Dungeons and the Dragons?
Junior high school. The friends I made in actually no, not junior high school. It was after junior high school. It was sophomore year. I had a terrible freshman year of high school where everything bad happened, and then afterwards discovered
Go
it in
watch
my new
Between
group
the
of friends. Yeah, it was the next year after that I actually made the friends I have now for life, and
Wow.
played all through high school. Kind of stopped for a while after that, and then once I kind of got into the nerd group in LA with like Matt Mercer and like that whole crowd, it all kind of picked back up again in and we all started playing again, or like at least LARPing. And I never really stopped doing the Vampire the Masquerade stuff, but
We never do.
no, it was the riffs, and it was riffs in high school. It was a vampire. It was D&D. It was cyberpunk, cybergen. We played every system we could get our hands on, and we had a really good group. And it was, I mean, like, it couldn't have been better. Like, it was the most. And I've seen like we had a weirdly sane group with very little drama, which was couldn't have been happier.
Please write a book.
There will be a book.
Please
will be
write a book. That's my one wish.
There will be a
Please.
book.
Yeah, especially before
Anything
you
else
forget.
you all want to make sure that the people get to hear about? Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was the worldwide announcement. This was the first we said publicly anywhere.
This is it.
Was here
I
on the
may have
Wednesday Club.
Watch
Freaked out a little
online.
when I was like,
Watch online for the actual press release where there is more information.
Yes.
Follow us both online at Tess Fowler on Twitter.
B. Dave Walters. We're going to be saying more things.
We talk a lot on the social medias, so
Yes.
I will be dropping teasers and.
I'm going to say one thing.
Yes.
I'm going to say one thing, and I'm going to put this in here. We wrote a pair of non-binary twins into the story. They are main characters in the story. So
There is
been waiting for
someone
that.
for everyone.
literally,
Someone for everyone.
literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
we do have a couple more minutes to talk if there are any questions, but I do want to make sure that as we are ending the show, we want to thank you again to Dungeon Fog for their awesome support today. Check them out at www.dungeonfog.com/the-Wednesday-Club or use the promo code Wednesday Club for 10% off your first annual premium subscription. And make your own D&D maps. If this didn't inspire you to play, I don't know, man.
Or to create.
Yeah, you might not
Do
like
the thing.
you might not like fun. Yeah.
Do the thing.
Do
Do the thing. No regret.
You have permission to do the thing.
That thing, you should do it.
Fail,
Do it.
fail better, fail, fail.
Yep.
Just keep doing the thing.
Yep. Fail forward. We've only got 2 minutes. I guess. How did you guys get into it? I mean, if you can say super fast how you started with the Dungeons
I can
and
say
Dragons.
very fast. I always wanted to play when I was in high school, but I was afraid to just because of like very conservative Christianity. But like I had a couple friends who played it, and you know, to my mom and dad's credit, they never said I couldn't. Thank you, mom and dad. But it was a concern that like maybe this isn't a safe thing to do. And then I met Matt Mercer. And we were working on some cartoons together, like just as writing partners, and we still are.
Suddenly Mercer.
Suddenly Mercer.
Yeah.
And I heard him talk about D&D all the time, and I was like, hey, I want to play. So Mercer ruined D&D for me because he was my first DM.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
He's been the only DM I've ever really had for Dungeons and Dragons. Joseph Limbaugh did Call of Cthulhu and was great. That was actually my first role-playing game. Was Call of Cthulhu, and I was like hooked.
Well, your next is going to be Battle Lords of the 23rd Century.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So that's my story.
Yeah. Amy.
4th, 5th grade, pretty much simultaneously made friends, like my friend and her little brother and my little brother would all hang out. So her little brother, who had to be in like 1st grade, somehow like taught us about D&D. I'm not sure how that math works, but that's what happened. We all got we played a weird playground version of it. I was older, so insisted on only using the rules I felt like using, but that was a great way to forge a lifelong love for role-playing games. Somehow Bard's Tale video game and discovery of the concept of bards in D&D, and the rest was history.
Great. Great.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for having
much.
us.
And congrats on your comic. It's oh my god, amazing. So proud of you guys.
So
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
I'm so excited to see this.
Started from level 1. Now we're here.
Literally.
We're gonna be figuring out the rest of October. We're gonna get spooky, and then we're gonna be bringing you more Wednesday spookiness. But in the meantime, I think it's time for Weave Society is next.
Yeah.
Time for a very special
Weave
one-shot
Society.
guest GM of Weave right now.
Can we know who it is?
Yeah, Random Tuesday. Have we announced that?
We're about to find out.
We don't know.
Just stay tuned.
We
True.
can't
It's
say
gonna
it yet,
happen.
but you'll find
Stay
out.
tuned. And thank you, Daisy.